Sgorio will show over 40 live games with Welsh and English language commentary available this season. A number of these games will be available to watch on Sgorio's digital platforms.
To watch Sgorio on Click, S4C's on-demand service, search for Sgorio and it will take you to the live game page. As the game begins, you can select Welsh or English language commentary.
On Facebook, you'll be able to watch the game with Welsh language commentary. And on YouTube, you'll be able to watch the game with English language commentary. Head over to Sgorio's Facebook and YouTube page and follow the relevant links.
Don't forget that there's a wealth of digital content on demand on Sgorio's social media channels,
where you can follow every kick, tackle and goal from the domestic leagues in Wales. Fe fydd dros 40 o gemau byw gan Sgorio eleni gyda sylwebeth Gymraeg a Saesneg ar bob un. Gyda nifer o'r gemau ar gael i'w gwylio ar blatfformau digidol Sgorio.
I wylio ar Click, gwasanaeth ar alw S4C, chwiliwch am dudalen Sgorio. Unwaith i'r darllediad ddechrau, bydd modd dewis sylwebeth Gymraeg neu Saesneg.
Bydd modd gwylio'r gêm a sylwebeth Gymraeg ar gael ar dudalen Facebook Sgorio, neu sylwebeth Saesneg ar dudalen YouTube Sgorio. Fe fyddwn nhw'n cyhoeddi dolenni i gyfeirio i'r mannau priodol cyn y gêm.
Cofiwch fod cyfoeth o gynnwys digidol cyson ar gael ac ar alw gan Sgorio.
Sy'n caniatáu i chi dilyn pob cic, tackle a gol o gynghreiriau Cymru.
Dyna i chi waith tîm arbennig.
Job dda. Screwfix yn noddi pêl-droed ar S4C.
Declan Poole to catch Aaron Edwards. Gynta o'n tymor i Edwards. Ar ymwyl o Cwrt Cosby'r ergyd. Disgyn i Edwards. Ar gyfle Aaron Edwards. Am i hat-trick wedi gweld y gol yr oddi ar y linell. Craig Curran. Jordan Davies yn clinigol. Digon o amser a digon o le gan Kane Owen. Y croeso di fewn. A Sam Stephen Curran yn rhithro fewn i'r cwrs fel rhyw darw gwyllt. Dyna neb am i stopio fo'n fanna.
Pêl-drod byw o faes tegid sydd gyda ni ar eich cyferchu heno wrth i'r Bala groesawu'r pencampwyr Connah ar noson dan gwyllt. Mae'n addo i fod yn gracr o gêm, ond a fydd y tîmau yma'n tanio heno tybed. Y croeso cynnes i faes tegid ar y llaiweithwch chi nawr. Dwi ddim yn gynnes, dwi ddim yn sych chwaith, ond Owain Jones i cadw cwmni fi. Braf dy weld Iws.
Diolch yn fawr a chdi Thefys, Sioned.
Nawr, mae'n addo i fod yn gêm hynod gyffroes heno rhwng ddau dîm sydd i fod yn onest wedi tan gyflawni tipyn hyd yn hyn.
Yndi, mae wedi bod yn siomedig i'r ddau. Y Bala, fysa nhw'n disgwyl bod chydig bach agosach at y brig, heb os. I Connah, mae wedi bod yn dymor hunllefus hyd yn hyn. Oll da ni angen neud ydi sbio ar y gyngrair. Trydydd o'r gwylod, wedi colli rheolwr, un o'r rheolwr gorau yn hanes y gyngrair. Felly, the only way is up, fel maen nhw'n dweud yn Saesneg, dwi'n meddwl, oherwydd dyn nhw'n mynd i aros yna, maen nhw'n mynd i wella, a fydden nhw jyst yn gobeithio bod y gwellhad yna yn dechrau heno.
Yn bendant, lot yn yfantol i'r ddau dîm. Gewn ni gebolog ar y tabl, ond yn gyntaf, beth am i ni weld y gemau eraill o'r penwthnos? Dyrwyddon Kevin yn wario y tre newydd heno yn ogystal ar Bala yn erbyn Connah, a oes cwpl o gemau mawr gan gynnwys y Flint yn erbyn Pen y Bont fori.
Ie, mae hwnna'n mynd i fod yn ddifyr yn dydi. Ac drwy sbio ar y gyngrair unwaith eto, fysa yna neb wedi disgwyl gweld y Flint yn ail. Maen nhw'n cael tymor campus, maen nhw wedi adio rhywbeth i'r gyngrair. Ac yn amlwg pan mae gennych chi chwaraewyr fel Mike Wild, mae hynna'n mynd i ddigwydd. Pen y Bont wedyn, chydig bach o bwysau ar ôl tymor campus blwyddyn dwytha, oedden nhw'n medru gwneud eto, mae'n debygol i bod nhw. Ond da ni'n gweld wedyn y Bala, sa'n nhw'n disgwyl bod yn ail neu drydydd, ddim cweit yn y pumed safle, ac Connah, fel ni'n dweud, fydden nhw'n disgwyl gweld llawer gwell, ac dwi'n meddwl fydden nhw'n barod am hon heno.
Mae wrth edrych ar y gyngrair ac ar y tabl, mae popeth dal mor agored ar hyn o bryd.
Yndi, heblaw am y brig. Dwi'n meddwl bod y Seintiau wedi profi lenni bod nhw wedi ymateb yn dda iawn o beidio cael ei dwylo ar y tlws bwysig ac ennill y gyngrair ers cwpl o flynyddoedd. Felly mae nhw'n edrych yn debygol fatha mae nhw sy'n mynd i redeg i ffwrdd efo. Bob dim arall, mae'n agorad i unrhyw un os allan nhw fynd ar ryw fath o rediad. A mae hynna'n wych. Sgen ni'm syniad pwy fydd yn gorffen y 6 ucha erbyn diwedd y tymor, a mae hynna mond yn beth da.
A'r ddau dîm heno yn sicr a phwynt i brofi, felly beth am i ni glywed ganddyn nhw, achos mae Nicky John wedi bod yn siarad gyda Colin Caton ac Aaron Edwards.
Colin, we love a Friday night under the floodlights, but arguably neither of these teams are where we might expect to find them in the table at this point of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. I think we've had two of us haven't had the season what we should have had or should be having, but that just goes to say how good the league is. You know, Flint have done really well, have invested big, and it's paid rewards for them, but there's a long way to go. We're only 1/3 through the season, so you know, it's a long way to go. People get carried away, and hopefully we can get on a good run and get up with the top ones.
You managed to get the better of Connah's Quay earlier on in the season. Are you expecting a different side, though, under Craig Harrison compared to the Connah's Quay of Andy Morrison?
I think it might be a little bit different. It won't be as intense. It won't be a lot based on set plays. But the game there was really tight, and you know, it's only a free kick on the day that determine the result, really. So tonight it'll be no different. It'll be really tight, won't be much in it, and the two teams will be going at it, and it'll be a good game, hopefully.
Eiron, mae o'n ddyn ti'n nabod yn dda iawn. Sut mae'r wythnosau dwytha wedi bod o dan Craig Harrison?
Dod, fel ti'n dweud, i'n nabod o am amser hir a i gweithio dan fo yn TNS a rwan yn fama, mae eisiau gwneud ei stael ei hun. Mae pob manager sydd wedi ennill y gyngrau neu efo dim bach amdano nhw. Maen nhw eisiau chwarae un ffordd ei hun, so mae yna dim bach o newid, ond da ni dal efo'r un chwaraewyr a da ni'n dechrau cael nôl i'r tîm cryfaf.
Yn realistig, be ydych disgwyliadau chi o ran gweddill hanner cyntaf tymor yma? Os na darged di cael ei drafod?
Ie, efo pwyntiau, mae wedi bod yn anodd efo anafiadau, ond mae bron pawb nôl rwan. Da ni jyst gael cymryd mesel gêm a jyst cymryd o fanna, really.
Heno, wrth gwrs, da ni'n gweld dau dîm sydd o bosib ddim lle fysa ni'n disgwyl gweld nhw o ran y tabl. Pa mor dyngedfennol ydy cael buddigoliaeth heno i Connah?
Ie, fel ti'n gweld lle da ni yn y lig, mae pawb ddim yn expectio o ennill y gyngrau'r tymor diwetha, ond fel ni'n dweud, da ni'n gorfod gwneud yn well hefyd, a ella ddim sgorio yn nifer o goliau yn colli Michael Wild, da ni'n gorfod ffeindio ffordd eraill i ennill gemau.
Diolch i ti, Eiron.
Beth am i ni atgoffa'n hunain wrth tro diwetha i'r ddau dîm yma gwrdd, achos mae'r Bala wedi cael y gorau o Connah yn barod tymor yma.
Yndi, a dyna sydd wedi effeithio nhw dros y tymor y dwytha ydy methu curo Connah, methu curo Seintiau Newydd. Felly, bron o bod ar ddechrau'r tymor yma, oedden nhw'n meddwl, hei, da ni di ffeindio ffordd, ac yn amlwg Horan yn cael ei yriodd ar y cae. Dave Edwards wedyn efo'r gallu sydd ganddo fo yn sgorio o'r gicrydd yna, ond dal gafal ar y triffwyns holl bwysig, ond maen nhw wedi golli'n pwyntiau mewn gema na ddylio nhw wedi wneud. Ond dwi'n meddwl fydd y canlyniad yna dal yn brifo Connah, a fydden nhw'n dod i fewn i hon yn ceisio talu'r pwyth. Ia, mynd ar rediad da, ond gwneud yn siŵr fod nhw'n dangos i Bala bod nhw dal yn gystadleuol dros ben.
Ows, diolch am dy gwmni di cer mewn i dwymo fy ni nôl ar ôl yr hanner gyntaf. Ond well i ni ymuno a'n tîmau sylwebu ni. Os ych chi'n gwylio ar clic, mae'n opsiwn i chi ddewis pa iaith i chi moyn gwrando wrth ddefnyddio audio selection. You can use audio selection on S4C Click if you want English language commentary. It's also on YouTube as well, with Bryn Thomas and TNS manager Anthony Limbrick. Ond yn y Gymraeg ar Facebook, well i ni ymuno a Malcolm Allen a Dylan Ebenezer.
Good evening and welcome to Maes Tegid here in Bala for the match between Bala Town, currently 5th in the Welsh Premier League, and the reigning champions Quay, who are languishing down in 10th position in the table. And it's a wet evening this evening in Bala as both teams line up, and we will be going into a minute's silence at the beginning of the match. It's the last match before Remembrance Sunday here at Maes Tegid. So a minute's silence will be observed for Remembrance Sunday. The referee, Mr. Hugh Jones, on the sound of his whistle, and we will fall silent for a minute. An impeccable minute's silence observed, with Chris Venables, the Bala Town captain, laying the wreath on the centre circle. News of the teams Bala. They make one change from the team that lost 1-0 at Penybont last weekend. Callum Woods is out, and it's Anthony Stevens who comes in. So they'll have Alex Ramsey, Ollie Shannon, Nathan Peat, Anthony Stevens, Sean Smith, Steve Leslie, Kieran Smith, Chris Sang, David Edwards, Paul Rutherford and Chris Venables, and one change as well for the visitors with Ryan Harrington in to replace Chris Owens. I'm joined this evening, and it's a pleasure to have Anthony Limbrick, the TNS manager, alongside me, and this is how Bala line up, Anthony.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I think it'll be a really interesting game tonight, looking at Bala. I think probably looking at that graphic there, maybe Rutherford might come and play off the right. I think keep an eye out for Edwards and his late runs in the box. I think he supports Venables really well. And they'll definitely be a goal threat tonight. I think if they can defend well at the back, they'll have a chance. Connah's Quay as well here, I think, will be interesting with two right-backs playing, Neil Eardley and Harrington. Which one will play left-back? It could maybe be Eardley, but Harrington looks like he could be in there. And I think Edwards as well, another midfielder who can run late in the box and score goals too. So that might be who does that the best for both sides.
It's going to be Bala who are going to kick the game off. Just waiting for the minutes or just the knee there. Mr. Hugh Jones, and we're ready to go. And off we go. It's going to be an interesting tie, Anthony, and Connah's Quay. Obviously the reigning champions, they're in a false position, it must be said, down at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, no, I think they are. They've had a few players that have come back in recently. I think they've added well with the right back, Neil Eardley, and I think they'll pick up a few more wins, I think, over the next coming weeks. So we had a very tough game against them at their place. We won 1-0, but it was certainly a very even matchup. So, yeah, I think it'll be interesting tonight against two good teams. I mean, we played Bala the other week, and they were fantastic as well, and probably should have won the game. So, I'm really looking forward to tonight.
Eardley with the throw-in, header forward by John Disney. Ball played down the right-hand side by Aaron Edwards. And it's Connah's Quay starting on the front foot. Cleared away by Edwards. And it'll run through to Ollie Byrne, who's in goal for Connah's Quay this evening. And Craig Harrison, his first victory last weekend against Cem Druids, after only 2 points from his opening 4 matches in the league. But he's been there, your predecessor, of course, at the New Saints, Anthony.
Yeah, of course. No, very experienced manager, had great success at TNS and played a great style and a brand of footballer who was there. We played them when I was manager at Woking, actually, when he was Hartlepool manager too, and played some good football there. So know him well, and looking forward to seeing him put his stamp on this side, I think.
Well, the only way is up, I suppose, for Connah's Quay. And it's Eardley once again, experienced Welsh international Neil Eardley. 31 Premier League appearances for Blackpool. Eardley, 16 caps for Wales, and that's interesting. You've got Neil Eardley playing for Connah's Quay, 16 caps for Wales. David Edwards playing for Bala, 43 caps, and it shows, I suppose, the way the league's going, that these players are willing to come back into play in this league.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think they're two very experienced players. I've seen Eardley many times in the Football League, and to get that calibre of player, I think, back playing. And also with Edwards, as you say, I thought that was a great signing for Bala, and it's proved to be so far for them. I think that shows that the league's improving and the teams are getting better.
Well, this Connah's Quay with the early pressure, and the referee, as he pointed to the spot, Hugh Jones.
Penalty.
I think it's a penalty. Yeah. And it's Nathan Peat who's the miscreant. Let's have a look at this one again, Anthony. Ball played in, and then as Aaron Edwards turned, was there a trip there?
Let's have a look now. It's a good little piece of combination play.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he caught him, didn't he?
Yeah, it's a great first touch from Aaron Edwards, isn't it? To get turned and play down the side. He does brilliant there to get the contact. And probably think, yeah, this early in the game, it still is a penalty.
Now it's Callum Morris. He scored 2 penalties against Bala last season for Connah's Quay. Only 1 goal so far this season. Morris steps up, sends Ramsey the wrong way, and within, well, 4 minutes, Connah's Quay ahead.
Yeah, no, very confident penalty there, wasn't it? And I think you always say that when the keeper goes the wrong way, but struck it really well and almost into the side netting there. So yeah, great start for them away from home, and it'll be good to see how Bala react now.
Well, a very, very early setback for the home side. And Callum Morris, he's very confident from the spot. And Bala trailing.
I mean, you could see there when they did get the ball forward, Connah's Quay making a lot more passes, and I think that's been probably a feature in the last 2 or 3 games. When we played them, it was the second game that the manager had taken over and was still fairly direct in the style that they were playing, which was very successful to them. But it'll be good to see them probably pass the ball more and what they get out of that. And Craig, as I said before, putting his stamp on the team.
And in the middle of all that, Colin Caton received a yellow card. Saw some comments made to Cheryl Foster, the 4th official. Good start for Connah's Quay.
Get organised then.
Callum Morris's penalty separating the sides. Smith with the throw-in, headed forward by Declan Poole. Into the box. It's comfortable for Alex Ramsey. It's a slippery surface this evening. Long ball played up looking for Chris Venables over the head of Horan. It's Eardley under pressure from Sang, and cleared away by Ollie Byrne.
I mean, as we said earlier, it does look like Ryan Harrington's playing left back. He's staying very close to Rutherford and coming right inside and trying to do what looks like a man marking job on him so far. So he is a danger and a threat, and it'll be good to see that battle.
Mullen, and played back by Horan, cleared away by Byrne. Looking for Curran, but it's Pete with the header. This is Paul Rutherford to Kieran Smith. Ever present for Bala this season, Kieran Smith. The engine room in midfield.
Well done.
There's a cheap throw-in conceded on the far side. 6 minutes played. Bala 0, Connah's Quay 1.
I mean, it's the perfect start as an away side, isn't it? It's what you want, an early penalty to settle the nerves away from home and definitely gives them a platform in the game. I don't think Bala will change too much yet, but it'll be good to see how they create the chances, and I'm sure they'll attack a lot more in the coming minutes.
Mullen just concedes possession on the far side. Jamie Mullen, former TNS player, Anthony. Interesting stat about him this season. Not only has he got any goals, but no assists either. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think he was a very good player for TNS. I mean, I saw him for the back end of the last 10 games. He came back into the team for the last 3 or 4 games. An excellent pro and a very good technical player. His combination play and his awareness on the right-hand side. He's a very good crosser of the ball, and I think it's a good signing for them, Connah's Quay. And I'm sure, I know you just said those stats there, but I think they'll definitely pick up and improve. He's got a lot of quality. If you can get him in the right areas, he'll get those assists with his crosses.
Newtown ahead at Kevin Druids. It's Aaron Williams with the goal there. So Druids 0, Newtown 1. And Druids rock bottom 1 point. The only point they got this season was here at Bala, strangely enough. And the only point they've had in the last 20 league matches.
Yeah, no, it's obviously been a tough season for them. Change of manager, and I think it'll be... it's obviously hard, isn't it, to find that momentum when you haven't won a game for that long. We haven't played them yet, but I think we've got them coming up over Christmas, home and away.
Yeah, it's those back-to-back fixtures, I think, isn't it, over the Christmas period?
Yeah, they're the ones, the closer teams, which will be good during that Christmas period.
And Craig Harrison, he'll be absolutely ecstatic with the starts that Connah's Quay have had so far. Callum Morris's penalty after 4 minutes after Nathan Peat brought Aaron Edwards down just on the corner of the penalty area. Sang battling for the ball, cleared away by Eardley. Stevens, the one change for Bala this evening, and just shanks that one out for a throw-in.
Yeah, they haven't managed to get any momentum so far, Bala. I think they've struggled to sort of get started yet. You'd want to put the back four of Connah's Quay under a bit more pressure at the moment, and I'm sure they'll be looking to do that soon.
As things stand, Connah's Quay up to 6th. Your lot, you're way ahead, Anthony. 7 points clear.
Well, yeah, look, we've had a good start. There's no doubt about that. 9 wins and 2 draws, but a lot of work to do, and we've had some very tough and tight games during that time. So, yeah, hopefully more to come, but we know we've got a lot of work to do.
Tomorrow you're playing against Haverfordwest. You are aware that you haven't lost at home against Haverfordwest for 18 years, aren't you?
I'm aware of that now, thank you, yes. No pressure for tomorrow then.
You also won the last 11 at Park Hall as well, so yeah. You're clear for a reason, Anthony.
No, well, listen, we had a very, very difficult game against them last time at their place. We won 1-0, but they had a very strong end to the game and could easily have been a draw, so we know they've got threats, and that'll certainly be a difficult test tomorrow, no doubt.
Anthony Limbrick, TNS manager, keeping me company this evening here at Mars Tegid. As we approach the 10-minute mark, Colin Caton seeing his team trailing 1-0. It's a free kick for Bala to be taken by Alex Ramsey. Looking for David Edwards. Edwards forward. And there was a pull there by Eardley. The expression on his face there, what a picture. And there's a yellow card as well for Neil Eardley.
I must say, Edwards, having not seen him or played against him before, when you do see him up close, he is good in the air, can win flick-ons and causes a problem from set plays. So obviously Connah's Quay have some good aerial threats themselves, but I think you'll have to watch out for Edwards in the game from these type of situations.
It's Steve Leslie, birthday boy Steve Leslie, 34 today. He'll whip this one in, left-footed. All the big men are up from the back. And Dave Edwards was one of them, but he just couldn't direct the header. Top scorer for Bala this season, Dave Edwards.
Yeah, difficult there sometimes with the outswinger on that angle, I think, to get the power on that cross. I think it was a decent ball in, but he sort of overran it a little bit there, Edwards, and struggled to get it on target.
Yeah, he was leaning back, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I think he ran under the ball a little bit, but he's, like I said, he's a threat in the box, and I'll have to be aware of them, Connah's Quay tonight.
Bala's top scorer this season, Dave Edwards, with 7 goals, one of them in the 1-0 victory at Connah's Quay earlier on this season, which really was the catalyst for Andy Morrison leaving, in a way, wasn't it, that home defeat against Bala?
Yeah, I mean, I watched that game back, and I thought Bala were very good that day, I must say. Edwards with the free kick, I think it was, on that day, and he was fantastic. So yeah, I think they hadn't lost many home games, obviously, last season, Connah's Quay, so it was a tough one to take, that one.
Mullen. Lovely play by Mullen. Past Ollie Shannon. Forward by Aaron Edwards, looking for the run once again of Mullen. And that one's just shepherded out. Good defensive work there. And it's a goal kick to Bala.
Yeah, great little turn from Mullen there, wasn't it? Good awareness, and seen him do that many times before. He's technically very good, and if he can get turned and get that half a yard, probably want to be doing it a little bit more higher up the pitch, I would say, but I think he was able to get that into Aaron Edwards' feet well, and I think if Curran can stay up there and occupy the 2 centre-halves there, I think that'll clear the space for those two to be able to get in between the lines and play some more of that type of football.
Callum Morris's penalty after 4 minutes, separating the sides. With Bala trailing 1-0. Thirdly, the ball again in the direction of Quay Curran. Disney. And it's Kieran Smith in with the throw-in.
Quite tied off these throws at the moment, aren't they? You can see all the players over on the half of the pitch. I think they're trying to work it and get it forward to then try and work something in the final third from the throws. Quay so far, but not able to do it just then.
Deservedly ahead, you'd say, Anthony?
I think as the away team, when you come in, yeah, I'd probably say so. I think it's been quite tight, though. But I think they've probably just done enough. You'd probably expect a little bit more from Bala early on to put a bit more pressure on Connah's Quay. But, yeah, quite a tight game, but I think they've done well and have been a good away performance so far, certainly.
The Bala haven't lost at home this season. They've only won one, 6-2 thumping of Haverfordwest and 4 draws. But, they're unbeaten here at Maes Tegid. Mullen, misdirected pass. Just behind Declan Poole, just a bit of misunderstanding there. Throw into Bala.
There's no doubt it is a tough place to come, Bala. We had a very hard game here last season, won 1-0, but the pitch is small, very aggressive, very physical side, well organised, and I think any result here is a good one if you can get 3 points, and you're anyone, I think it's a good place to come and get a win.
And if Connah's Quay can get back-to-back wins, and then I suppose the belief will be coursing then, and they'd move up to 6th, as we saw in the graphic earlier on. And that would begin the momentum, I suppose, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's winners in their team. There's good players. There's guys who have won the title for the last couple of years here, and I'm sure they will go on a run soon, and it'll be interesting to see when they put that momentum together how far they can climb that table.
Does that give you more incentive then, you know, as the new Saints, having been sort of serial champions, and then the last 2 seasons it's been sort of wrestled away from you? Does that give you more impetus this season?
Well, I think we knew we needed to make some changes, obviously. With the players that we had to recruit better, we had to improve our training methods, and we knew that we had to push on to the next level in order to try and do better than last season. That's our goal. We obviously come second last season by a small margin, and we want to try and improve on that. I think there's still obviously so long to go in the season now, and we really don't look at any other teams. I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but it actually is the real answer. We're very much focused on ourselves and making sure we try and win every game that we play in, and that's what we've done so far, and it's worked well so far.
Well, your top scorers this season, nobody scored more, nobody's conceded less than the new Saints. It's bonfire night, of course, and there are some fireworks off the pitch.
Go on, Ray! Dave, challenge is to leave it, it's a throw in instead of a kick.
So far, no fireworks on the pitch. Just the penalty from Callum Morris after 4 minutes. Ramsey looking for Chris Sang. Falls for Dave Edwards. Back to Leslie. Venables. Tightly marked by Eardley. Well defended by Connah's Quay. Confident to play the ball out on the back as well.
Yes, Jamie, get up with him.
Pete.
Jamie Mullen, get up with him.
Back to Ramsey. Horan. Commanding at the back. As always, George Horan. Edwards. Back to Byrne. We were talking about George Horan, weren't we, earlier on, Anthony? He's a model player, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, for his age to still be competing at this level and doing really well, he's fantastic. I think he's an absolute machine, isn't he? Physically looks in good shape, and certainly the strikers, whenever they've played against him, they know they're in for a game, and he's a winner. I think everyone would want him on your team, that's for sure, and he's been one of the big reasons, I think, that they've had success here for the last couple of years at Connah's Quay.
And he's a year older than you.
He is, yeah. I think he looks older than me, though, no?
You should still be playing You could still be playing.
No, not myself. No, certainly not.
George Horan, 39, and Bala have got Anthony Quay on the bench, also 39, by the way. 18 minutes played at Maes Tegid. Bala Town 0, Connah's Quay Nomads 1. Horan up waiting for the free kick. Disney turns all the way back to Ollie Byrne. Byrne, first time clearance, looking for Horan, who is up from the free kick. He'll need to chase back. Shannon. Edwards steals the ball, and then it's a free kick conceded. Foul on Aaron Edwards.
He does do that well, Aaron Edwards. I think he covers the ground in midfield, gets around the pitch. Do you know what I mean, for his age as well? I think he is over 30, but he's obviously had a good successful career at TNS, but draws a lot of fouls and then gives Connah's Quay a chance to put the ball in the box and put Bala under some pressure.
Eardley with the free kick. And just an opportunity for Sean Smith to clear the ball up the field. Aaron Edwards, 33, by the way. So he's still got a few years left in him. Bala pressing. Leslie tried to work the ball onto his left foot. Sang. Edwards. Space to measure his cross. Played back in. And there was an offside flag there. Just on the left-hand side. And again, the opportunity's gone.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to the Connah's Quay set pieces here, I know we're seeing the Bala chance, but sometimes they just wear you down with those set plays. It's not necessarily, I think, to score, but it's just the constant defending, the setting up, the having to clear them, the defend them, I think wears you down and forces teams into making mistakes. They've been very good at them over the last couple of years. I think Andy Morrison was fantastic on set plays, one of the attention to detail, and we'd spend a lot of time watching them and trying to work out how to stop them, really. And they certainly put you under a lot of pressure that can wear you down and then end up conceding in other ways, not necessarily from that set play, I think.
Is there a change of philosophy with a change of manager? Have you noted that in Connah's Quay's play?
Yeah, it was interesting because we played Connah's Quay only one game after they played Haverfordwest, I think, and then we played them the week after. It was fairly similar style to how they played before. I think it's getting the balance, though, isn't it? Because very successful if you win the league in the last 2 years. Andy Morrison had a style and a way of playing that was very well organised, and I think when you've got that drilled into the players, it's hard to change that. That's what I said before, I think it'll be really interesting to see if that style's changed and if and when, how quickly that will be, but then to get the balance to do that, I think that's a real key part, because I don't think it's that easy of just changing it quickly.
Because the beginning of Craig Harrison's tenure, I mean, they didn't win for the first 4 matches. Now things are on the up, so I suppose it takes time for players just to get used to a change of system, maybe.
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of time for that, not just a couple of games either. I think that's a long process. It's time spent on the training pitch. It's time in the windows, the transfer windows as well, to bring in the type of players you want. So it'll be an interesting one to see, I think, in the coming sort of weeks, how they're playing, and then that building into sort of the second half of the season.
Connah's Quay pressing cleared away by Shannon, and the free kick again awarded by Mr. Hugh Jones as we approach halfway through the first half, and it's Callum Morris's goal within the first 5 minutes from the penalty spot after Nathan Peat had fouled Aaron Edwards.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I think Bala wouldn't be too happy with the start that they've had. They would like to put Connah's Quay under a bit more pressure. I think Rutherford's been quite quiet. You'd want to get him on the ball a lot more, probably running at Harrington, who really is a right back and right-footed. So they'd be looking at definitely, I think, to get the ball down and get it to Rutherford and get some combinations with Edwards getting in the box off Venables if they can.
Curran goes down into the challenge from Sean Smith. Nothing doing. Going to Mr. Jones. Throw-in taken quickly. And it's with Ramsey. That'll be an easy header for George Horan. Colin Caton won't be happy at all with that, but that's a clearance looking for Chris Sang. Sang. Now he's got Dave Edwards with him. Edwards, can he fashion across? No, he can't, and it's an opportunity for Declan Poole just to run the ball out. Up to Craig Curran. Heavy touch, picked up by Kieran Smith. And Pete to Shannon. Venables. Kieran Smith. Bala looking to build from the back. It's losing possession in midfield. Poole. Ball round the corner. Lovely ball and played in. Oh, that was an easy goal. What a goal. It's Craig Curran. What a move down the right-hand side. Woeful defending by Bala, and they trail 2-0. It's Bala 0, Connah's Quay 2.
Must say, I think that's an excellent goal, though. I think the ball from Declan Poole inside the fullback. I'd like to see the run as well a bit more. I think, just look at this ball here. Fantastic ball for the wide play to narrow off. Or I think is it Disney in there, I think, who's ended up out there. But it was a, fantastic ball. Sorry, Disney's played it to Declan Poole, Great pass in there and behind the defenders and good movement in the box. He is always in there, Curran, in between the posts and looking to score. But fantastic ball from Disney. I think Poole makes that ball by running inside the fullback and narrowing him off. Great goal.
It was a lovely pass in the first place from John Disney. The cross first time from Declan Poole, and it was a tap in at the end for Craig Curran to score his 3rd goal of the season.
Yeah, I think, listen, when teams move the ball that quickly, and it's very hard to stop, you'd probably say the fullback there could maybe narrow off a little bit more. You'd rather it go outside you than inside you, but listen, credit to Connah's Quay there. I think that's a fantastic goal.
Well, you'd never say looking at Craig Harrison, but he must be absolutely overjoyed. Leading 2-0 at Bala. So Craig Curran with the second, adding to Callum Morris's first. Burn. One ball forward here, and Edwards was in there. Leslie to Sang. Smith under pressure straight away. Nathan Pete. Long ball looking for the run of Rutherford, and it's Harrington. And it's comfortable at the moment for Connah's Quay, Anthony.
Yeah, I think it has been, I mean, the goals help as well. The goals do. It means that they can sit in a little bit and defend, which they have done so far. But no, look, credit to them. I mean, to have such a good start, win the penalty, and then score a good quality goal like that, I think you'd be very pleased if you're Connah's Quay.
But less so if you're Connah's Quay. Foul by George Horan on Chris Venables.
I mean, we played Bala recently on a Tuesday night, and I thought they were excellent. They started probably the opposite to this at the moment, and were very on the front foot, passed the ball excellently well, and went in at half-time 1-0 up, and it could have been a lot more. So I've seen them start well as well, but they'd probably be a little bit disappointed tonight with not just the goals, but the way they've played so far, I think.
Stevens with the free kick looking for Pete. Venables tried to find Rutherford, but it's Ryan Harrington. Ball down the line looking for Craig Curran, cleared away by Shannon. Throw in to Connah's Quay, who have a threat every time they go forward, do the visitors. Leading 2-0. The other match this evening, it's Cem Druids 0, Newtown 1. And Newtown in 3rd position. And the JD Welsh Prem. Shannon. Has to turn all the way back to Ramsey. Bala going back to go forward, and then Horan. He wins everything in the air, does George Horan. Smith looking for Sang. Sang brought down by Eardley. Now Eardley has already been booked. And just have to watch his step here, I think, will Neil Eardley.
Yeah, I mean, the ball pops up, it's there to be won, but I think any time you show your studs, it's a danger. You're right, he probably will need to be careful. and make sure he doesn't get booked. I think if you're Bala there, you want to be getting at him 1v1 and trying to expose him a little bit more. I think a bit of a good thing from Connah's Quay so far tonight's been the Mullen and Poole being able to track back and really help out their fullback so far, and they need to do that with Eardley.
Long ball in by Leslie. It's there once again for Leslie. There's an opportunity for Connah's Quay to clear the ball upfield with Craig Curran. Curran past Leslie. Determined run by Craig Curran, Aaron Edwards. Looking for John Disney. Harrington. This is Mullen. And it's back with Ollie Byrne. Looking for Declan Poole. Lovely play once again down this right-hand side, and the ball crossed in first time. Headed away. And a shot coming in from Aaron Edwards. And he didn't catch that one sweetly enough there. And went straight through to Alex Ramsey.
I mean, he's obviously an experienced player, Edwards, but just knows his game so well. He's played a couple of one-touch passes around the corner and then looks to get on the end of anything that pops out on the edge of the box. And he's certainly a threat with just that type of passage of play there.
Well, that was more of a difficult chance, really, than it appeared at first sight, to be fair to Aaron Edwards. Edwards just looking for the run once again on the far side of Harrington. Ramsey saw the danger. There's a threat down that left-hand side from the visitors, Anthony.
Yeah, well, it's probably the first time that Harrington's got forward that much. I think he's mostly got the job to try and mark Rutherford. At the moment, he seems to be quite tight wherever the ball is with him, and he's done a good job so far, and I think that's helped really give them the platform in the game to play Connah's Quay. So not just attacking-wise, but defensively, I think they've done a good job.
If you were Colin Caton now, what change would you change? Anything? System, formation? Would you make any substitutions?
Yeah, it's a tough one so far. I think they are set up in a good shape, and that's the shape that they've been most successful in from I've seen them. So I think probably trying to get a little bit more pressure on Connah's Quay by, I think they need to make probably 3, 4, 5 passes first before it goes forward, and that hopefully might draw them out a little bit.
Tuesday evening, it's Haverfordwest against Barry Town, live on Sgorio. There's a full programme of matches on Tuesday. Who have you got on Tuesday night, Anthony?
Oh, we've got Aber away.
Aber away. Mullen. Oh, Mullen, good play, good feet, but can't keep the ball in play. Throw into Bala. Half an hour played. Bala Town 0, Connah's Quay 2. You would think that Bala need to hit back before half-time. And as they say in football, the next goal is vital, isn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt, especially in this game. I really think it is, yeah. I think if Bala were able to get that goal there, they're right back in it, and the momentum for them at home could really help them. But I think, yeah, obviously if Connah's Quay managed to nick another one, I think it could be very difficult.
It was Sean Smith with an audacious effort with the outside of his foot there. Was that a cross? Was that a shot? It was a toe poke, wasn't it?
Could have been a bit of both there, yeah.
Byrne with the clearance. You do sense that Connah's Quay, that there are more goals in this one. And you do sense that Connah's Quay could just turn the tap a little bit more, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, when you're the away team, I think in this situation, it's easy to drop off and frustrate the home team. Like I said before, the two wide players are tracking back really well and defending deep, and sometimes there's just only Curran up front, but you can do that when you're 2-0 up and you're away from home. And you can see here sort of taking their time on the throw-in, I think, just to waste a little bit more time, get the big men up and see if they can create another chance from a knockdown or a drop down off this throw.
It's Danny Holmes winding up for the long throw, headed away. Horan's in there, still there for Connah's Quay, headed back in by Declan Poole, and it's the effort, left-footed effort straight at the keeper and Craig Curran. Well, he was offside. It's another effort on target.
Yeah, I mean, it's the long throws are really interesting in this league in particular. I think if you look at the stats, it's more from the ones that drop down in second phases as opposed to scoring directly off the long throw. So you always have to be careful of them when they're dropping down, that you're in the right position to cover the players and the runners, so you're first to it as a defending team.
Edwards out to Shannon. Pete back to Dave Edwards. Bala pinned back in their own half by the Connah's Quay press. Anthony Stevens. Stevens, space and time to consider his options. Stevens continues with his run. Ball played in by Sang, but it's a poor ball picked up by Mullen. Mullen to Aaron Edwards. Edwards looking for Curran. Disney. Callum Morris. Opening goal after 4 minutes for Connah's Quay from the penalty spot. Craig Curran with the second on 23 minutes.
Well done. Go on deck, go on deck, go on deck. Yes, again.
It's interesting to hear Craig Harrison Anthony, isn't it? He's just encouraging and he's praising his players.
Yeah, I think they're trying to press at the right time. Though, even on the last bit of play, they're trying to force one way and make it play predictable in there when they're pressing.
No, Edwards, he went down. Fair play to Dave Edwards. Didn't appeal, didn't ask for it at all. It was a coming together, I think, with John Disney more than anything, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was there. Yeah, he was maybe hoping that the contact was going to come, but yeah, no, fair play to him. He did get straight back up.
Yeah.
Well done, no, Dave's brilliant.
Nick Rushton scored a second for Newtown. It's Kevin Druids 0, Newtown 2. Rushton adding to Aaron Williams' first for Chris Hughes' side. Chris Hughes, of course, manager of the month for October in the JD Welsh Premier. He's done a good job at Newtown.
I think he has, yeah. I think they've improved. They've added to the squad well. They're tactically good, hard to play against. I think they've got 4 wins this month, Newtown. So, yeah, no, fair play to them. Well done, Chris.
Stevens. Bala need a goal before half-time, you'd think. Sean Smith. Smith looking for Stevens once again. Lovely ball round the corner. Finds Stevens, but there was a handball there.
Yeah, just from that little passage of play there, I think that the 2 fullbacks for Connah's Quay are staying very tight to the wide players. You can see there, Eardley comes right out, gets sucked out, and some little runs down the sides of the centre backs I think could cause them a problem. Connah's Quay, especially possibly on George Horan's side. So I think that could be a feature and something that could improve in the second half for Bala. So let's see if they can do that a little bit more.
The experience in the back line for Connah's Quay, wow, it's incredible, isn't it, when you think about it? You know, you've got Eardley, you've got Horan, they've been there, they've seen it, they've done it.
Yeah, no, they are experienced characters, and having seen George Horan up close, he certainly knows the game, when to slow it down, when to speed it up, and he'll be talking through a lot of those players through the game there for sure. I'm sure, like Ryan Harrington, for example, at left back, a younger player, good physicality, good potential, but could do with learning the game more, and that's what George Horan will be there to help him through that.
Into the last 10 minutes of the first half, Connah's Quay leading by 2-0 here at Maes Tegid. Callum Morris and Craig Curran with the goals. Options on the bench for Bala, by the way, from, well, really, they've only got Brad Boris from an attacking perspective. Well, Danny Walker-Rice as well, I suppose. He could consider bringing them on. Anthony Kay, Ollie Southern's defender, Anthony Kay midfield. So would you be tempted to make changes at the break?
Do you know what, it's a tough one. I think sometimes if your team aren't exactly playing how you'd want, you want to fix a few things at half-time. You want to add some pointers. But then you want to give those players a chance in the second half for 15 or 20 minutes to see how they do. But then also the other option is to shake things up and make a couple of changes if you feel you can do that, and it'll affect the game.
So, that belief that you give them until maybe the 60 minutes, it's true. you do that.
Yeah, I think it is, because like this has been a fairly settled side for Bala, I think, especially in the attacking areas. Your players like your Edwards and your Venables and your Rutherfords, you'll think will have a period in the game, and it just takes one sort of period, even though they might not be necessarily at their best so far tonight. They can just turn it on for one little part, they score 2-1, absolutely game on, isn't it? So I think he'll be giving him a chance, Collins, second half, and might tweak one or two things at half-time.
Byrne with the long clearance. And it'll come straight back from Ramsey. Who else? George Horan. Aaron Edwards just brushed Kieran Smith aside. Back to Edwards once again, out on the far side. Looking for Jamie Mullen. Edwards, Harrington. Former TNS players combining down the left-hand side for Bala. Here's Mullen. Edwards. Harrington. Connah just keeping possession, and poor pass there for once from Aaron Edwards, and characteristic, picked up by Ollie Southern. Now Steve Leslie looking to release Paul Rutherford down the right-hand side, but well read by Danny Holmes. Lovely ball forward once again to Aaron Edwards. Ball squared. There was almost an opportunity for Declan Poole. It's Edwards for Bala. Dave Edwards. Leslie. Sang in space down the left-hand side. The ball finally ricochets to him from Declan Poole to Sang. Leslie. And it's Pete. Connah just filing back behind the ball. Rutherford, lovely touch by Rutherford. Can he get the cross in? He can to the far side. That's beyond Sang. And, well, opportunity's gone.
Yeah, just what we were talking about before there, really, wasn't it? I was thinking it was probably only a matter of time if you could get that half a yard of space. He's done it for many years, Rutherford, hasn't he? And can take you on the outside well and look to get those crosses in. I think it was unfortunate that Venables couldn't be in the box for that one, because he's certainly a threat peeling onto the second centre-half and very dangerous in the air. And I think if you can get the ball wide and get crosses in the box, he'll be a threat. Well played from Bala there.
5 minutes remaining of the first half here. Aaron Williams with his second goal for Newtown. It's the Druids, Chem Druids 0, Newtown 3. There's a Bala press. Dave Edwards. Well, his intention was clear. We were right behind his effort here and tried to hook the ball, but once again, not enough power on that one.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to peg Connah's Quay back there, get the little set for the cross in the box. I think there was 4 in the box from that side time, and that's the sort of pressure that they need to be building, and it's probably been a good end to the half so far from Bala, and giving them some good hope for the second half.
Now they got 5 minutes, well, just less than 5 minutes of the first half remaining. The ball played back by Danny Holmes to Ollie Byrne. There's a big up and under. Venables, a lovely ball out to the far side to Dave Edwards. Edwards back into box looking for Venables. Smith. Shannon. Edwards. Well, it was Leslie rather with the Irish Rutherford, I should say. Smith. Sang. Back to Sean Smith. Looking for Edwards once again, and almost fell to Rutherford. Opportunity for Danny Holmes to carry the ball out to defence. Also Declan Poole. Lovely touch. Curran, scorer of the second goal. Thirdly. Lovely touch there.
I think certainly an important period of the game for Connah's Quay. You want to manage the game during this time. I think they're trying to do it there, get your foot on the ball and make a few passes just to take the sting out of it, really. They've managed to get, I think, 3 or 4 crosses in the box, Bala there, by gaining territory, getting a set back and getting it in the dangerous area. I think if that keeps coming in, they'll cause more threats and hopefully get probably more chances from their point of view. But Connah's Quay just wanting to probably keep the ball a little bit here and see out the half and take the clean sheet.
John Disney's playing that role just in front, sort of the holding midfielder, just in front of the back line, isn't he? He's playing that role really well.
Yeah, I mean, he does that quite regularly. He's sort of almost a centre-back. So if that player pushes forward and gets forward, he takes him and he slips in next to George at the back, but then really tries to push in and mark that player in there. We've seen him do that many times, and he's certainly almost man marks in the middle of the pitch there. I must say his pass for the goal was amazing though, so fair play to him as well. He's got more to the game than that, but he does that well and just squeezes in there and can do a bit of both really. So very versatile player and a good successful player last season, I thought, for them.
Well, we had him in the original lineup playing centre back, but it's Danny Holmes who's dropping back in there, isn't he? And John Disney more of the spoiling role almost, but there he is back now. He's with George Horan gone up. He's dropped back into the back line, and they've got, well, 3 at the back now, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just covering there for George and then making sure that when he comes back in, I'm sure he'll push back into midfield there. But I think sometimes or in the past when we played Connah's Quay, it was almost the formation was irrelevant in a way, because out of possession they would man mark, the fullbacks would follow the wide players, will they come inside or stayed outside. So you could set up a formation, but you knew they were going to be nice and tight and marking you all over the pitch, which is a very effective way and a very like organised way that they did it, and caused a lot of problems with it. So
we're into the last minute of the first half. We understand there'll be a minute added by Mr. Hugh Jones at the end of the first half. There's Ollie Byrne just under pressure from Chris Venables. Just takes his time. No rush at all. They'll want to go in at half-time, will Connah's Quay, leading by 2-0 if they can. A header off Craig Curran, out for a throw-in. Venables just tries to play the ball into the run of Chris Sang. And Sang with the pressure on Ollie Byrne. Sang, few opportunities so far for Bala this season. Leslie. Clearance only as far as Sean Smith. 1 minute confirmed at the end of the first half. Leslie looking for Dave Edwards. Bala certainly pressing.
No, they've had some good little passages here. Haven't really been able to create a clear-cut chance, but I think it's probably a chance is coming if they keep playing like that and looking to get the ball in the box, which is a threat for them.
Craig Curran goes down under pressure. Free kick to Connah's Quay. There's Anthony Stevens. Well, mistimed more than malicious. And Connah's Quay. There'll be no rush at all to take this free kick. It's Danny Holmes just asks the fourth official where to place the ball.
Yeah, they're not overcommitting too many men forward, are they, for this one? I think they'll be looking to make sure they squeeze this in and keep it in there if they can.
Mr. Jones just has a quick look at his watch. Play continues as the whistle goes for half-time, with the visitors leading by 2-0. Callum Morris with the first goal after 4 minutes from the penalty spot, and then Craig Curran doubling the visitors' advantage on 23 minutes half-time here at Maes Tegid. And it's the visitors who are leading. It's Bala Town 0, Connah's Quay 2. We'll be back with English commentary after the break.
Diolch, Malcs, diolch. Del Owain Tudur Jones yn cadw cwmni fi. Owain, o ti'n disgwyl y sgôr yna ar yr hanner?
Wel, ti'n gwybod be? Yn meddwl am y gêm o flaen llaw, o'n i yn disgwyl ymateb can Quay Connah. Dwi'n gwybod bod y Bala yn chwilio ymateb o ganlyniad siomedig wrthos dwytha, ond doedd hi ddim yn mynd i fod yn hir tan oedden ni'n gweld yr hen Quay Connah. Dyna da ni wedi weld. Dyn nhw'n wedi bod yn wych, dyn nhw'n wedi goro bod yn wych i fod yn hollol onast, ond maen nhw jyst i gwneud digon. A maen nhw wedi edrych mor gyffyrddus yn amddiffynol. Y Bala, y ser sydd ganddyn nhw, Venables, Dave Edwards wedi cael ei ddilyn ar draws y cae gan Disney drwy gydol yr hanner cynta. Maen nhw'n heiddi bod ar y blaen.
Quay Connah ar y blaen o 2 gol i ddim. Beth i ti'n credu sydd yn mynd o'i le i'r Bala? Ydyn nhw wedi dangos bach o'r mod o barch i Quay Connah?
Wel, dwi'n meddwl mae'r gol gynta, gol gynnar na'n gwneud gymaint o wahaniaeth mewn unrhyw gêm, oherwydd be bynnag di'r cynllun, be bynnag di'r system, os ti'n ildio yn gynnar, mae bob dim ar chwal. A dyna sydd wedi digwydd yn y gêm yma. Cael kick o'r smotyn mor gynnar, mae hynna wedyn yn golygu bod Bala'n gorau newid rhyw bethau, a mae hynna'n chwarae fewn i ddwylo Quay Connah, oherwydd unwaith maen nhw ar y blaen, maen nhw'n cadw'i siap, cadw'i system, maen nhw wrth i bodda.
Bydde'n ddiddorol i weld be fydd Colin Caton yn gweud wrth i chwaraewyr yn y stafell newid na ar hyn o bryd, ond oes, mae'n amser na o'r mis i ni ddewis gol y mis, felly beth am i ni gael gipolwg ar y rhestr fer.
Fynon Taf yn pwyso fan hyn. Y bêl yn cael ei gosod at Shepherd i'r gornel ucha. Gwych gan Shepherd. Nath eistedd fyny'n berffaith iddo fo, a do'n ddim stopio honna.
Mae'r Flint yn ei chymryd i'n sydyn. Hart i Bradley. Ni gosod i Ben Mar. Mar! O, Mar i'r gornel ucha! A mae'r Flint gyda 3 munud y weddill ar y blaen. A mergyd i'r gornel ucha, ond na ddim stopio'r honna.
Daniel Green yn troi bêl at Megan Saunders, chydig o le gan Saunders. Mae'n meddwl am ergydio, ac a mergyd gan Saunders. Caerdydd ar y blaen wedi 3 munud yn unig, a mergyd gan Saunders. Walder, a llach gan fo. Rob Hughes, pwysio ymlaen i Gynarfon. Digon o grysa di a Gwyn o'i gwmpas, ond mae Hughes dal yn mynd, a mae di sgorio! Sut nath o hynna? O na o leia 4 crys di a Gwyn o'i gwmpas o, ar ochr y cwrs Cosby, a rywsut, mi lwyddodd Rob Hughes, i fynd heibio nhw i gyd.
Fyny tuag at Brobl. Mlaen ar y cyffyrddiau cyntaf i McManus, mae dan bwysau gan Smith. Nôl i Brobl. Brobl yn chrymanu hi! Yn gelfyn! Heiber golwr Harry Lloyd, dim gobaith wrth iddi wythio. Heibio i ddod ar seintiau newydd yn gyfartal.
Cyfle fan hyn i Hwlffordd, i daro nôl. Watts ac Mason Jones-Thomas yn torri tu fewn. Eto ergyd. O, hyfryd! Gan Mason Jones-Thomas. Ymysodwr gorau Hwlffordd ar y dydd am gol.
Y frwydr yn cael y cae. Bas yn fwy hir yn y pen draw. Border allan yn fyr. Nawr te, Ridge. O, mae di sgorio! Emily Ridge, capten y seintiau newydd. Wel, maen nhw 4-1 ar ei holi, ond dyna gol ore'r gêm ma. Ridge ar y cynnig cynta o ryw 20 llath rhyfeddol. Hogan yr eilydd. O, traed chwym. Yr 1-2 gyda Stacey John Davies. Hogan, o, gol hyfryd. Gwennan Hogan, y ferch ysgol, yn pasio yn symud, yn defnyddio'i sgiliau ac yn gorffen yn gelfydd. Mae'n y ddyfodol disglar o flaen hon.
Wel, i ni'n cael yn sbwylo bob mis o ran goliau fan hyn ar Sgorio, ond oes ti sy'n cael yr anrhydedd o ddewis yr enillydd, pwy sy'n mynd â hi?
O, diolch yn fawr, Sioned. I fi o'na lot o goliau da fel ti'n sôn, ond yr un, dwi'n meddwl, pwysigrwydd y gêm, Bala yn erbyn Saint Newydd Ryan Brobl. Am gol gan Brobl. Fel arfer, da ni'n weld o'n dod oddi ar yr ochr chwith, yr asgell chwith, dod i fewn ar ei droed gryfa, ei droed dde, nid tro yma. Un bel letraws, cyffyrddiad perffaith, a wedyn ma'n dechrau crwydro i fewn i'r cae. Un cyffyrddiad hyfryd wedyn y droed chwith. Am gol Ryan Brobl, ac oedd hon yn gol mor bwysig i gael ei hunan yn ôl yn y gêm pan oedd yn ar ei hôl i yn erbyn y Bala. Felly Ryan Brobl, llongyfarchiadau mawr iddo fo.
Llongyfarchiadau i ti, Ryan Brobl. Os wyt ti'n gwylio, fydde fe'n braf.
O, fydd o'n gwylio, fydd o'n gwylio.
Wel, oes, ewn ni mewn i drafod popeth y gwyddodd yn yr hanner cynta rhwng y Bala a Connah. 2 funud a hanner mewn i'r gêm, cic o'r smotyn, gewn ni gipolwg ar y digwyddiad. Penderfyniad cywir o'r dyfarnwr?
Ia, dwi'n meddwl. Ac eto, pan mae Connah, mae rhaid bod nhw'n ddihyder. Felly maen nhw'n disgwyl i rhywbeth fel yma ddigwydd. A dwi'n meddwl, dwi'n dallt pan mae Bala, dyn nhw'n hapus oherwydd mae troed Pete. A ti'n gwybod be, dwi'n gwylio rongl yna eto, dwi'n gweith yn siŵr. Mae'n cael dipyn o'i droed ar y bel, mae yna syndod mawr, felly mae yna ddadl o'r ddwy ochr yn fanna, ond Connah wedyn, mae'r dyn yma, mae o'n berig bywyd o 12 llaeth yn dydi. Gyrru'r gol geidwad y ffordd anghywir. A mi fysa'r dyn yma mor hapus o deimlo'r rhyddhad o gael y gol holl bwysig gynnar yna.
Felly bod e'n swnio fel cwestiwn syml, ond mae cael gol mor gynnar yna mewn gêm mor anferth o hwn yn seicolegol, mae hwnna'n mynd i roi hwb anferthol i'r chwaraewyr.
Yndi, oedden ni'n trafod cyn y gêm bod y ddau dîm yn mynd i fod yn ddihyder. Am wahanol resyma, Connah'n cael tymor gwaith na Bala o safbwynt y gyngrair. Felly, be di'r digwyddiad cynnar mwyaf sydd yn digwydd? Ac i Connah, nath nhw ddechrau am well, oedden nhw ar y droed flaen chydig bach mwy, rhoid amddiffynwyr Bala o dan bwysa, ac efo'r pwysa yna, da ni wedi gweld dros y tymor a dwytha, maen nhw'n gwneud i rhywbeth ddigwydd. Tro ma'n nid gol, ond ennill cic o'r smotyn, ac o hynny'n mlaen, o'na ddiffyg syniadau gan y Bala, ac fel ni'n sôn, Connah'n heiddi bod ar y blaen.
A'r ail gol, Ows, gran Craig Curran, yw hwn yn arwydd o athroniaeth Craig Harrison, i ti'n credu fel rheolwr?
O bosib. Da ni'n gweld cwpl o basis, ond dyn nhw'n chwarae, ac o safbwynt Bala, mae yna lot o gangymeriadau. Venables yn meddwl bel i ffwrdd yn llawer hi hawdd, a wedyn sut da chi'n ymateb. Mae'r bas yma, dydy Smith fel cefnwr chwith beth yn cael ei giro. Mae'n sefyllfaidd 1 yn erbyn 1 yn wych, ond mae'r pellter, mae o di mynd yn rhy agos at y dyn, sy'n golygu fod wedi gadael y bwlch fel bod y bas yn mynd rhwngtho fo ac yr amddiffynwr canol. Wedyn dyn nhw'n gwarchod y postyn agosa, a mae Curran yn gwneud be mae bob ymosodwr dan yn wneud. Gwneud yr hediad seg at y postyn cyntaf yna, ac yn cael ei gol yn haeddiannol.
Yn bendant. Wel, ar y botwm coch mae rheolwr y Seintiau Newydd Anthony Limbrick yn cadw cwmni i Bryn Thomas, ond ar hyn o bryd mae wedi cael brec fach a mae fe'n cadw cwmni i Nicky John.
Diolch, Sioned. Anthony, first half, Connah's Quay looked comfortable. What have you made of proceedings?
Yeah, I think it's been a good away performance from them. I mean, they obviously got the early goal, and I think that let them settle into the game, and they were able to defend quite well, and limit Bala to many chances, and I think Bala had a little bit of the best play at the end there for the last 10 minutes, but I must say I thought the second goal was outstanding. Great move, Disney with the pass, Declan Paul narrowed off with a great ball in the middle for Curran, and I thought that was a fantastic goal for them, and been a perfect away performance so far.
You mentioned there Bala being more encouraging perhaps towards the end of the first half. Can I ask you, if you were now Colin Caton in that Bala dressing room, what are you saying to the players at this point?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one, because in that situation you can either make lots of changes and really try and get on the front foot for the second half, or you can give the players a chance in the second half for a good 15-20 minutes. I think you could see even at the end there with Rutherford, he only needed one little chance to get at the fullback, and he took Harrington on and got a quality cross in. Edwards was starting to get in the box a little bit more. Venables, I think, hasn't got into it yet. They've got good players on the pitch. I think they know what they can do, and I think he'll give them a chance for the next 20 minutes to see how it goes before he makes changes.
Of course, I can't have you here without asking you about TNS. Now, we're halfway through the first half of the season. 7 points clear at the head of the table there. Those are encouraging stats, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a positive start. We knew we wanted to improve from last season. We came second in the league, and I think when you're TNS, you know there's pressure on you to win the league, and that's what we're trying to do. We want to try and put in the performances that we have done so far. I must say we've had many tough games during that time, but to pick up those results after what was a really really taxing European campaign we're happy with, but still feel like there's a lot more we can improve in the team, and we want to try and do that over the next few weeks.
Haverfordwest at home tomorrow. They've proved to be tricky opponents for you in previous meetings, although it's a good many years. 2003, I think, was the last time you lost to them at home at Park Hall, so no pressure for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's about the third time I've been reminded of that tonight. But we had a very difficult game against them. We only won 1-0 at their place. They came on strong in that game. They've got some attacking threats in the team, so I think if we can look after them, then that'll give us a chance in the game, but we'll definitely have to defend well tomorrow.
Diolch, Anthony. I'll let you go back to Bryn now. Look, back into the warm. Enjoy the second half.
Thank you.
Diolch, Nicky. Fi'n teimlo fel bob tymor y cwestiwn yw os unrhyw un stopo'r seintiau, ond eleni mae fe'n edrych fel yn sicr taw nhw fydd y pencampwyr.
Yndi, dwi'n meddwl, da ni ddim mwynhau y 2 flynedd dwytha. Gathon ni rhyw 5 mlynedd, 6, 7 cyn hynna, lle oedden ni'n meddwl lle mae'r bygythiad yn mynd i ddod, a chwarae teg Quay Connah oedd y tîm yna, a Quay Connah Andy Morrison oedd y tîm yna. Ond Lenny a chwarae teg i Anthony Limbrick, mae o di gwella'r seintiau. Da ni'n gweld hynna pan da ni'n gwylio nhw yn perfformio yr arddull o chwarae, ond yn anffodus fel cyngrair, gret iddyn nhw, dos o neb yn mynd i fynd yn agos atyn nhw.
Yn bendant. Wel, cyn i ni droi ein ffocws i'r ail hanner, mae wythnos i fynd tan 2 gêm enfawr i Gymru yn erbyn Belarus a Gwlad Belg. Ows Rob Page wedi enwi i garfan, a sdim surprises na?
Na, dim surprises o gwbl. Dwi'n meddwl bod pawb sydd ar gael, maen nhw yna. Mae yna 28 wedi cael ei enwi, felly digon o chwaraewyr. Yn amlwg, mae yna chydig bach o amheuaeth dros ffitrwydd ambell un, ambell i chwaraewr pwysig. Da ni'n gobeithio fydd Ramsey yn hollach. Nathon ni weld i bwysigrwydd o mis dwytha, ac mae Gareth Bale yn amlwg, ydy o'n mynd i gael ei ganfed cap neu beidio. Mae o yna, mae wedi cael ei enwi sydd yn gret, fydd o'n ymuno fo'r garfan, a mae o fyny fo lle mae o'r amffitrwydd. Swn i'n syniad fydd o'n dechrau, yn sicr y gêm gyntaf yna, hyd yn oed yr ail. Dwi'n disgwyl efallai i weld o fel eilydd, yn enwedig os oedd yr anaf mor gas ac oedden ni'n feddwl, a fydden ni'n gobeithio fydden ni ddim i angen o gymaint a hynna, mond am ryw 20 munud ag at y gêm.
Dyma sefyllfa'r grŵp Ows yn realistig. Beth i ti'n credu yw gobeithio'n Cymru?
4 pwynt. 4 pwynt a dyn ni'n gorffen yn ail. 3 pwynt allan ni orffen yn ail, ond dwi'n meddwl bod ni angen y 4 na i gael chydig bach mwy o bwyntiau sy'n gallu arwain at gêm haws yn y gêm ail gyfle. Ond 4 pwynt, fydd Belg wedi ennill y grŵp yn gyffyrddus, Lukaku diom yn ffit, lot o newidiadau, mae ganddyn ni jans yn y 2 gêm i gael y 4 pwynt.
Un chwaraewr fydd ar goll yn erbyn Belarus yw Cymru. Mae rhaid ni gofio faint o golled mae e'n mynd i fod.
Mae'n mynd i fod yn golled. Dwi'n teimlo bod Cymru yn fwy o berig pan mae'n dod oddi ar y fainc beth bynnag, yn fwy na dechrau'r gêm. Felly, swn i'n disgwyl, os mae Ramsey'n ffit, hen system 3 yn y cefn, a wedyn Ramsey a Dan James yn chwarae just tu ôl i Harry Wilson. Felly, mae yna ddigon o chwaraewyr creadigol, digon o ymosodwyr yna i sgorio, creu y cyfleoedd yn erbyn tîm fydd yn amddiffyn yn ddyfn. Dwi'n disgwyl gweld canlyniad a perfformiad da yn erbyn Belarus, a wedyn gwatcha diem ar awyrgylch yn yr ail gêm yn erbyn Belg.
Wel, wrth gwrs, fe fydd y 2 gêm yna yn fyw ar Sgorio. Cymru yn erbyn Belarus yn grŵp E nos Sadwrn am gwarter wedi 7 ar S4C. A wedyn y gêm fawr yn erbyn Gwlad Belg nos Fawrth, yr 16 o Dachwedd am 5 munud ar hugen wedi 7 ar S4C. Y gêm ola yn y rowndiau rhagbrofal Cwpon y Byd Qatar 2022. Wel, dyna'r cwbl o fi ac Ows am nawr. Mae'n amser i ni ymuno a'n tîmau sylwebu. Bryn Thomas and Anthony Limbrick on the English language option, a Malcolm Allen a Dylan Ebenezer yng Nghymraeg.
Welcome back for the second half here. Anthony's rejoined me after his pitch side duties. So Bala have got it all to do in the second half. Tongue lashing from Colin Caton at half-time. Will it have the desired effect at the beginning of the second half? They'll need to do something within the first 10-15 minutes, Anthony, I think.
Yeah, I think probably a bit more of what they did at the end of the first half, I think, but turning those sort of good positions with crosses in the box into chances. I think, I mean, just looking at it now, it looks a similar setup to where it was before, so it'll be interesting to see what they'll do in the second half here.
No changes, by the way, in either 11 at the beginning of the second half, and as we discussed in the first half, he'll most probably give them 10-15 minutes to see what they can do. Shannon now to Rutherford. Now then, Rutherford. That quick feet from Paul Rutherford to Kieran Smith. Smith under pressure from Aaron Edwards and forced into well, an uncharacteristic mistake there for Kieran Smith. He's been quiet, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has been. I think he does a lot of the work which allows an Edwards to push on and Rutherford to come inside, and he covers a lot for the fullbacks if they go forward. And he did a good job at our place when we played against them. He was very impressive, and I think he'll be key in this second half. I mean, I think you can see already the intensity and tempo is definitely improved already, just even in that small passage of play. So they'll be looking to do that moving forward.
While you were out doing your interview with Nicky, by the way, Owen Tudur-Jones awarded the goal of the month, and you'll be glad to hear it was Ryan Brobel's goal for yourselves against Bala.
No, fantastic. I mean, it got us back in the game, that one, that 1-1. I think the first touch for the long ball from Chris Marriott was great with Brobs, and he's certainly a fantastic player, and we see him do those things regularly in training, but for him to pull those out in the game was great. And the first touch for him to roll it over with his sole and then hit it with the left foot, his unfavoured foot, was fantastic. So pleased for him.
As you say, that first, and Owain mentioned that first touch from the long ball, he just brought it down. Oh wow, he was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, no, his touch is fantastic, and he
was offside, I think.
Yeah, I think in the last 3 games he's got 3 goals, 3 assists, so we're getting him back to that form. I think he got 12 goals come after his injury last season, and that shouldn't be underestimated how hard that was for him to come back. So pleased for him, he's getting back into that form too.
Declan Poole planting the ball into that. He wasn't offside, by the way. I think it was Craig Curran with the initial header who came back from an offside position. And Bala just breathe a sigh of relief. The third goal, you'd think, would well, it would be curtains then for Colin Caton's side. Venables, he's not had much change out of the Connah's Quay defence so far this evening. Chris Venables, willing runner, but he needs better service, I think, doesn't he, Anthony?
No, I mean, look, he's a great goal scorer, and I was quite surprised actually when I come to the league to find out he used to play in midfield quite regularly, and I thought he would always have been a forward. But he's got very good movement in the box, so one to always be aware of. He peels onto the second centre half well a lot.
Opportunity to the far post for Shannon. And now then, Disney. All cleared away up to Venables. Interesting stat about Chris Venables from last season, by the way, Anthony. He failed to score in any of the 4 games against Connah's Quay last season, but he scored against all the other teams in the league.
Yeah, very interesting stat, and that might have something to do with the sort of the man marking system that they had. I know Andy Morrison would have done his homework on the opposition. He always does, and we're very well organised. So I'm sort of not surprised in a way that was a statistic here.
Harrington encouraged it! Oh, what a goal! Ryan Harrington! Oh, that's an absolute howitzer. It's 3-0. It's Harrington's first goal for Connah's Quay. Oh, he'll remember that one. Bala Town 0, Connah's Quay 3.
Oh, unbelievable strike. Yeah, I mean, sometimes that right-footed fullback playing on the left can work against you, but it certainly worked for Connah's Quay tonight with that, and I'm not sure who scored too many of those goals, if I'm honest, to Ryan Harrington, but really pleased for him. He sort of makes a little run inside there into a midfielder's position and gets it out of his feet and just hit it so cleanly, didn't he? Yeah, amazing finish.
Wow. Oh, he was a good, 30 yards out there, must be. And Ramsey, no chance at all.
No, I'm not sure anyone's saving that one. He strikes it so cleanly. It just takes a little bobble as he has a first touch there, and it probably suits him a little bit because he can get after it. And yeah, amazing strike from him.
Oh, the connection was absolutely perfect. Now Bala have got it all to do here now. 3-0 down. Shannon. Four Connah's Quay players between Shannon and the goal.
It's a foul!
Yes, I tend to agree with Craig Harrison. It's a foul. Referee doesn't agree. Ball played in. Easy for Ollie Byrne, and I don't know, body language from Bala now.
Well, I think it's been really tough for them. I mean, you as a manager there, you're going in half-time, you have your team talk, and then the opposition scores one from 30 yards, which is an amazing strike. I'm not sure there's that much they could have done about it, really. There were players quite tight to Ryan Harrington when he did strike it, and I think it's very difficult to make an impact with that. I mean, you would say from Connah's key point of view, it's been an almost perfect away performance. They've restricted the opposition to a lot of chances. They've scored a good, really well-worked team goal, won a penalty, and then scored that worldie. So yeah, it's been great from them.
Well, in the corresponding fixture at this stage last season before the split, it finished Bala Town 1, Connah's Quay 3. Callum Morris scored from the penalty spot. Craig Curran scored as well. And it was George Horan actually with the third one, rather than Ryan Harrington. Let's have a look at this one again. Oh, it's getting better every time, Anthony.
Yeah, no, it was certainly a good strike. Yeah, certainly a good strike. I'm pleased for him, Ryan. He wasn't getting as much game time as he would have liked last season at TNS. That was frustrating for him, and the young players, they need to play, and it was good that he's been able to come to Connah's Quay and he's managed to get that game time in. So I don't know how many starts he's had this season, but he's been quite a fairly regular starter for them so far.
Yeah, it's his 8th start actually in 12 appearances, so he has been getting the game time. Ramsey. What does Colin Caton do now, Anthony? He'll have to make changes, surely, won't he?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's so difficult. I think you know your team aren't creating as much as what you've wanted, and I think it's difficult. He probably will have to make some changes to try and get back in the game, and you need a really good 10 or 15 minute period here now just to maybe something from a set play might get you back in the game. I think at 3-1 still, it could make it tight, and you never know.
Leslie, poor ball in, and Curran under pressure. Leslie does well to win the ball back. Leslie with the effort. Oh, almost went through Byrne, but Leslie, first effort for Bala the second half.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be so frustrated from that as a coach, because you've got the set play there. You want to put the ball in a good area in the box and create a chance. I mean, I know they got that from the second phase there, but the set plays can be so important here. A set play can get you back in the game, so the delivery needs to be good.
Connah's Quay, reigning champions, starting the match in 10th place in the table, leading 3-0 against Bala Town, who started 5th, and heading for their first home defeat of the season, unless something absolutely amazing happens. Sean Smith with the free kick for Colin Caton's side. Stevens, Horan to Leslie. It'll be comfortable for Byrne. Bala Town heading for their first home defeat since April.
He's having one.
That one runs straight through to Alex Ramsey. I'll tell you one thing, Anthony, I'm glad that it's Nicky John who's doing the interviews with Colin Caton after the match, not me.
Yeah, no, of course, it's always difficult if you have to do the interviews after a match when you have been beaten, and we've all been there many times before. It's never nice, of course.
Well, I must say, I think I've interviewed you 3 times now this season, and you've won every time. So I've not come across you when you've lost yet.
Yeah, no, it's not a good time to do an interview, that's for sure. But look, listen, there's still plenty to go in this game. You never know. I think one goal could open it up and might give them something to play for Bala. I think one chance could hopefully, maybe for the game's sake, get them back in it. You never know.
As the TNS manager, are you starting to consider Connah's Quay? I know there's a big gap between you and them at the moment. With this win, it'll take them up to 16, so you're still going to be 13 points ahead. But do you still see them as a threat?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we don't look too much at the table. We're just trying to concentrate on the games that we're playing. But one thing I would say is I've got a lot of respect for them as a team. Like I said before, there's a lot of winners in that team. They've got a very good manager. They've had great success over the last years. And one thing we can say is that we're still chasing them to win the league. Do you know what I mean? That's our goal this season. That's what we want to try and do, and we need to improve from next season. But we haven't won the title for the last 2 seasons, so that needs to be our goal and our main focus, that we want to try and improve from last year.
So as things stand, Connah's Quay jumping up from 10th to 6th. New Saints, of course, on 29 points at the top of the table, 7 points clear of Flint, who entertain Penybont tomorrow afternoon, with Newtown in 3rd position. And they will stay in 3rd position unless they score 2 more goals. If Newtown score 2 more goals at the Druids this evening, then they will jump up to 2nd on goal difference above Flint.
It's interesting watching here from where we are. You can see that Edwards is trying to move from that central position a lot more, but Disney's following him virtually wherever he's going, and I think he's getting a bit frustrated with that. Edwards, as you would do, and it's he does do a good job of that. Disney makes it hard to play against when he's locked onto that further advanced midfielder.
That was one point that Owen Tudor-Jones made during the break, actually, that Disney, the man-marking job he's done on Dave Edwards, has been really key to the performance from Connah's Quay so far this evening.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes nullifying the opposition threats, and Venables and Edwards and probably Rutherford are the 3 main threats, I think, for me. And they have so far done that well.
And looking at your squad, I suppose somebody like John Routledge maybe would play in that position for yourselves?
Yeah, he'd play in that position, but he does it very differently. John Routledge is a top footballer. Actually, like, on the ball, links the play. He starts a lot of our attacks, and that's why we play him in that type of role for a different way, really. We've got a lot of busy, industrious midfielders in there, like himself, Redmond, Leo Smith and Clark, who press and deal with their midfield duties a lot differently probably to that, but look, each to their own, and it is very effective and working well tonight, that's for sure.
Bala pressing for anything at all, but that second ball's just falling for Connah's Quay this evening here on Edwards. Lovely, it was a simple ball, but it was a lovely ball, releasing Declan Poole out to the far side to Morris. Callum Morris into the box, looking for Craig Current. Will come back to Morris, back to Harrington. Suggestion of the shot there. This is Mullen plays the ball in. There's 2 players there waiting for the ball in. It's Callum Morris, who scores his 2nd of the evening, created by Jamie Mullen, his 1st assist of the season. It's a rout. Bala Town 0, Connah's Quay 4.
Well, good bit of composure there from Harrington after scoring that goal. You'd be tempted to have another strike, but he sucks the right back out with that pass and ball in the box. And look at 4 in the box for Connah's Quay. So fair play to them. Even at 3-0, they're still looking to get bodies in the box. And Jamie Mullen is a threat, albeit on that left-hand side there for him, and cross with his left foot into a good area.
But they were queuing up here, weren't they? There were 2 players waiting for it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be disappointing from a Bala defensive point of view. You'd want to be clearing that. The right back, as you say, Shannon gets drawn out with that pass and should probably stay a little bit wider, and then probably should clear that when it comes in the box. So, yeah, a couple of the goals tonight, you'd be very disappointed from a defensive point of view. But look, credit to Connah's Quay. I think they've been good value, and to keep pushing on in this second half, they've done well.
They've been clinical, haven't they?
Yeah, it's a good way to describe it, I think. Yeah, certainly have, with the chance from the penalty, and then the second goal, I think, was a great goal. And then, like clinical tonight. I'm not sure of the stats, but not too many shots on target, but they've put most of them away.
An hour played at Maes Tegid. Leslie.
It's all right, Jay. It's all right, son.
think about 3 years ago, Anthony, the Saints came here and won something like 7-1. So, you know, don't know if we're heading into that sort of territory yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that tonight, but you, yeah, look, it's funny. In any league, do you know what I mean? It is difficult. Sometimes you turn up some nights, play really well and get beat. Other times you have an off night. It's tough, and sometimes things go for you. And they've certainly gone for Connah's Quay tonight, but I must say they deserve to be in the lead. I'm not sure it's necessarily a 4-0 game at the moment. But look, they have, as you say, take their chances and fair play. I think probably one of the standout performers tonight, not necessarily for all the things that he's done or that have been noticed, is the man who's just gone for the header there, Aaron Edwards. I think he's gone up and supported really well. He's pressed to try and win the ball back. I'd love to see how much running he's done tonight. I think he's given a real platform in the game to give them a chance, Connah's Quay.
Yellow card for Chris Venables. Is this a red card? It's a red card for Chris Venables. He flew in with the studs. And Mr. Hugh Jones and Chris Venables, well, he'll just have to watch himself here. And Bala, well, it's just going from bad to worse. And Chris Venables sent off. This is the 5th red card in the last 7 games between these two sides. And it's kicking off in front of us here, Anthony, between Steve Fisher and Craig Harrison. It's getting ugly.
Just have a look at it again. Oh, I thought the ball was there to be won. Yeah, it wasn't a great tackle, but is that the second yellow there?
Well, had he seen the yellow card, Chris Venables? I've no recollection of Chris Venables having a yellow card.
I'm not sure. He did take the yellow card out there.
He did,
referee, didn't he? So
he did.
Maybe it was his second yellow, was it? Or
oh,
yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? I'm not sure it was a straight red. If that's what the referee's given there.
Well, Neil Eardley had a yellow card in the first half, but I've no recollection at all of Chris Venables seeing a yellow card. So that must have been did he...
The yellow card did come out, didn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't know if something's been said after that, or possibly.
No, could be.
I mean, look, it wasn't the best tackle on Jamie Mullen, but
nope.
I wasn't sure it was worthy of a straight red, but
no,
we'd see it again, I think.
So Bala Town trailing 4-0, down to 10 men. And in the first meeting this season between the two sides in September in Connah's Quay, which Bala won 1-0. George Horan saw a red card there. Last game of last season, Nathan Peat was sent off in April, so it's the 3rd match in a row where a red card has been shown, and it's Chris Venables, the Bala captain, who left the field. Well, no hope at all now for Bala, you think, would you?
No, I mean, it's a shame for Venables, because I'm sure he's probably frustrated with the scoreline and how his team were maybe playing, but yeah, I'm not sure it was a straight red, and it just seems to have gone against Bala a lot tonight, the decisions and the what's happened so far for them this evening.
Yeah, there was foul and abusive language, Anthony. Just to explain to the listeners where we are here pitch side, we can see the 4th official through the window, and she just mouthed the yellow card and then foul and abusive language, so the red card was shown.
We can see the halfway line and not much else here. It's yeah, amazing. Yeah, I thought I was going to get a good view of the game tonight, but
when the play's right in front of us, we can see everything, but we can't see the corners or anything. So we're totally dependent on the screen.
So it was for 2 yellows, yes.
Yeah,
2 yellows.
But he didn't show the second yellow. He showed the yellow and then he showed the red, didn't he?
Right. Yep.
So it was 2 yellows. So for the foul, and then for foul and abusive language by the Bala captain. And Bala find themselves playing the remainder of the match with 1 player fewer than Connah's Quay.
Tighten up, don't get sloppy. Come on. Go quick.
We understand that Bala are going to make a change. I think it's Danny Walker-Rice who's about to come on for Chris Sang, as Ollie Southern sees, or Ollie Shannon rather, sees a yellow card.
I mean, playing against Bala a few times, I think they've got a good team spirit from the outside. They look like they have. I think Collins got a good team group together. They really work hard as a team, and it's certainly a challenging time when you're in this scoreline. You're down to 10 men, so hopefully they can stick together and work hard, which they look like they are. I think they'll go to the end, and they could have a little chance here.
Quay also preparing to bring Paulo Mendes on, so both managers just ringing the changes here. Quay comfortably ahead, 4-0. Chris Sang will be departing shortly. Here's the opportunity. There's a save by Byrne as a corner kick to Bala as we approach the halfway point of the second half. Leslie getting an opportunity again to lift the ball into the box. Plays a low one to Shannon. Leslie does go for the far post, this time looking for Pete. And it's comfortable for Ollie Byrne, who's had a really, well, I should say, quite a trouble-free evening, the Connah's Quay keeper. Substitutions are going to take place, but we're not quite sure who's going to be coming on just yet. As Connah's Quay just go for that fifth goal. Aaron Edwards looking for the ball back into the box. And now the substitutions will take place.
Might be a Callum Morris or...
So it's Neil Erdley who's departing. And it's Paulo Mendes who's going to be coming on, and there's a double substitution as well for Bala Town. So Mendes on for Erdley, and then for Bala Town it's Chris Sang being replaced by Danny Walker-Rice, and Ollie Southern's going to be coming on as well. So Sang just coming off for former Tranmere Rovers player Danny Walker-Rice, and it's Steve Leslie who's going to be replaced by Ollie Southern.
I mean, looking at Connah's Quay shape there, I think Mendes will certainly go in the middle. He's a central midfielder, and maybe Disney push out to right back. I think they'll keep the rest of the back four the same. Even though Disney's done a good job in the middle, is pretty flexible and can play out there, I think. But it looks like Mendes will come on in the middle.
So just waiting for the changes to take place. Connah's Quay 4-0 up. 2 goals from Callum Morris, Craig Curran, and well, an absolute blockbuster from Ryan Harrington. So it was a Shannon who came off the electronic scoreboard, had originally shown Steve Leslie, but it's Ollie Shannon who's made way for Ollie Southern. Disney. Aaron Edwards. Lovely ball looking for Mullen. Mendes, first touch for the sub to Edwards. Crisp, correct passing from Connah's Quay. Jamie Mullen with the ball, looking for Paulo Mendes, and it was cleared away by Anthony Stevens. And Bala under pressure once again. Another substitution for Connah's Quay, by the way. Declan Poole is going to be leaving the action, and it's Aaron Williams coming on. So very much attacking changes here.
Yeah, I think the opportunity possibly to rest some players and give someone some fresh legs. I assume they'll be playing Tuesday night as well, so I think the option there, I think Declan Paul's covered a lot of ground, done a lot of defensive work and come up with that little bit of quality from that cross. So it's been a hard-worked night from him with a little bit of end product that got them that good quality second goal.
So Paulo Mendes and Aaron Williams on for Connah's Quay. And it's Neil Eardley and Declan Poole who have been replaced. Smith with a header on by Dave Edwards. Into the final 20 minutes here at Maes Tegid. Didn't see this, to be honest, Anthony, must say, before the match. 4-0 with 20 minutes to go for the visitors.
No, I'd agree. I thought I probably didn't see 4-0 either way. Even for Bala, I thought it was going to be a really tight game. I thought there could be some goals in it, but I thought it'd be a real tight affair and only a goal in the game, as in either way from either team, maybe a 1-1 or a 2-2 or something like that. But no, certainly it's a fantastic result so far for Connah's Quay, and will give them a lot of confidence moving forward.
And they're all confident, they're all going for goal. Danny Holmes looking for his first goal of the season. Ryan Harrington could do it, why couldn't he? He shanked that one though.
I think they'll be telling him to stay back on the halfway line there after that one.
Horan climbing all over David Edwards. Free kick to Bala. Any goal would be a consolation, no more than that. Down to 10 men. Chris Venables sent off after 62 minutes. Yellow card for a foul and then dissent. Second yellow card turned into a red card, and captain had to go for an early shower. Leslie with the free kick to Edwards. Southern.
Well done.
There's no Venables there to aim towards, of course. And the tradition of red cards in this match continues. Edwards.
Shadows, George around the head. I know.
Declan Walker ice and just a head injury. But fair play to Bala, they're still going for it, aren't they?
No, look, like I said, I think they're a really good team, Bala. And if the game when we played them the other Tuesday night had been on the TV, which I'm glad it wasn't, they were by far the better team and deserved to win the game. We won 2-1 and scored 2 late goals, but I thought they were fantastic that night and weren't able to replicate that tonight. But look, they are a good squad. They're a good side. There's a lot of experienced pros in there, and you're right, they are going to the end, and I think we'll expect them to do so. Yeah, I think they'll be disappointed with it, but they've got a lot of pride, and they do seem like a really together, close-knit team. So.
Yep, even with 10 men, Bala Town are still going for it. Next game for Bala, by the way, is away at Newtown. And then on the 3rd of December, Anthony, you're coming here.
Yeah, no, I know tonight it doesn't look like it, but it is a real tough place to come. We came here last year, 1-1-0. In a really physical contest where they had a couple of chances. Venables could have scored 2. I remember he dragged a couple across the far post there, and it could have been a different game. And I don't think there'll be many teams who'll come here and get this result this season. So it's probably just, I think, a one-off for Bala, if I'm honest. I think they are a good side, and they'll go on a run, and I think they'll climb the table and be higher than where they are at the moment.
Just looking at Connah's Quay's fixtures. Tuesday night, they're away at Carnarvon, and then they travel to Penabont. When you play, do you know when you're playing them next? You can't see anything next month. You're not playing them next month. It must be in January.
I don't think we are next month. No.
Bala just preparing to bring Anthony Quay on, 39-year-old. For Steens. Oh, lovely touch by Aaron Edwards. Looking to release Mullen. Was Mullen pulled down? Was Kieran Smith, the last defender, he was. And Bala down to 9 men. Kieran Smith bringing Jamie Mullen down. And if Colin Caton thought he couldn't get any worse, he was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have a look at it again. A really great move from Aaron Edwards there. I think he is the wrong side of him, Jamie Mullen, so I think if it's a free kick and he's in that position, yeah, it's unfortunate, but it probably is a send-off. I mean, I really feel for Bala tonight. I think they haven't given up. They've worked hard all game from start to finish, and to say that they deserve to be 4-0 down with 2 red cards, you wouldn't agree with that. So I really feel for them tonight. It's been ever so tough the night for them.
Anthony Stevens leaving the field, and Anthony Quay coming on for the 9 men of Bala. Chris Venables sent off, Kieran Smith sent off, and he knew straight away, didn't he, Kieran Smith? He knew, you could see, he didn't contest it at all, as Danny Holmes just leaves the ball to Harrington. Good defending Mendes. Opportunity here now for Connah's Quay to just improve their goal difference as they win a corner kick. But Kieran Smith, Anthony, he knew straight away, didn't he?
Yeah, I think when that attacker gets the wrong side of you, whether you mean to foul him or not, and he was quite central on the pitch, wasn't he? So he was the last man, and I think the minute you hear the referee's whistle there, you know you could be in trouble, and it is a shame with the scoreline and the 2 send-offs, but I think it probably was, looking at it again.
Connah's Quay preparing to bring on Byron Harrison. 6'3", Byron Harrison, replacing Craig Curran. Corner kick to Connah's Quay. Everybody in the penalty area bar John Disney. Jamie Mullen just biding his time. Looking for Holmes. That was a well-rehearsed corner kick there. You've chosen a good game for your debut, haven't you?
Yeah, plenty of action, I think. Goals, send-offs. Yeah, it has been, to be fair. But yeah, no, really been interesting to see the game, and think it's been unfortunate for Bala, but you would say Connah's Quay, I think, have deserved to be in front. Maybe not by this much necessarily, but I think they've deserved it so far.
It's a test of character now, and a test of resilience of the Bala players. Bala down to 9 men. Aaron Williams has scored a hat-trick for Newtown. So it's Kevin Druids 0, Newtown 4. As it is here, 4-0 to the visitors. Approaching the final 10 minutes at Maes Tegid. Bala Town 0. Connah's Quay Nomads 4. Bala down to 10 men. Bala with 9 men, not 10. Losing count. Ball cleared away by Sean Smith. Almost close to the 5th there for Connah's Quay.
Oh, he's done a great job there, Sean Smith, to get inside the far post. That's where you want your full-back to defend, and obviously numbers in the box for Connah's Quay. He's done ever so well there to get in and defend that cross. It's an awkward one.
Yeah, it was on a plate, wasn't it, for Byron Harrison? If Sean Smith hadn't intervened there. Mullen once again with the corner kick. Burn. Lovely touch. Danny Holmes enjoying themselves now, Connah's Quay. Mullen. Craig Harrison just encouraging his players to go for it here. Going for that 5th. Edwards. All he was clear there was Aaron Edwards. but nobody coming in at the far post to take advantage. Into the last 10 minutes.
No, look, he has done well tonight. Aaron Edwards, I think he's done a lot of things, I said before, that you wouldn't notice as much, and a shame he couldn't pop that one in the back of the net. I think if anyone deserved a goal, it'd probably be him tonight. But look, Bala are still going, still working hard for each other, still trying to land on these second balls and trying to be as solid as they can now. And you can see, look, Rutherford, Edwards here trying to get across, get their shape, and it's going to be a tough 10 minutes, isn't it? But credit to them, I think they've kept going, and that's a sign of the togetherness in that team there.
Ryan Harrington, his goal's the pick of the bunch. Wonderful volley from, well, good 25, 30 yards. Harrison now to Holmes.
Don't stop the ball! Budgie, don't stop the ball!
Holmes. Rutherford closing him down. Morris. Jamie Mullen. He's popping up on both sides at the moment is Jamie Mullen. Space to exploit. Harrington.
Go hard.
Southern.
Go hard again, he's got nothing up there.
Oh, Morris almost keeps the ball in play.
The difficulty, obviously, now when you've got 9 men is the out ball. And I think Edwards was the furthest one forward there, but he had to track all the way back. And then Southern gets on the ball there, he looks up, and there's no one to play to. It's tough enough with 10, but let alone with 9 is very difficult.
And you saw the table there. This victory brings Quay within a point of Bala. And there's certainly a statement being made here this evening at Maes Tegid by the champions. Pete. Easy for Disney.
Don't stop it, Cal! Just pass it and move!
Morris. Just pass it and move. The instruction from Craig Harrison. Disney. George Horan. Is it sometimes more difficult to play against, 9 men, 10 men than against 11?
I think sometimes if the opposition have had a man sent off and you're behind in the game, then that gives them sort of the excuse to drop off and sit in, and that can be very difficult because then they've got something to hold on to and can play against. I think in this situation here, it's obviously very hard. You're down to 9 men. You've conceded a few goals as well. I think it is about the character and the willingness of the players to stick together and work hard, which they have done tonight, credit to Bala. But yeah, sometimes it can be. I think depending on the teams you're playing against, it can give them a little incentive that everyone needs to work harder on the pitch, and just gives them the excuse to drop into a low block and defend. So that can be hard to break down, and even harder than sometimes when they're 11v11 and they're trying to come out at you and score.
Did you practice that in training? Do you practice playing against 10 men?
Yeah, we have done before. I mean, we've set up sort of, I think it's important to set up scenarios where what you would do if you had a man sent off, so what formation you go to. A lot of teams play 4-3-3 or 4-4-2. Do you go 4-3-2 or are you 4-4-1, depending on the game, depending on your players. We've done both, actually. 4-3-2 has been successful for us. We won the last game of last season going 4-3-2 after we had a man sent off, which was funny enough Ryan Harrington actually in that game. Yeah, he didn't score a worldie like he did tonight, did he? But yeah, so that's been effective for us. But also in other games we've gone 4-4-1 because we felt like we've needed to protect the fullbacks and cover the wide areas. So I think it depends on the game as well and what you've worked on.
Bala Town down to 9 men. Chris Venables sent off. Kieran Smith sent off. Harrington. His turns, plays the ball back to Ollie Byrne. Ball looking for Aaron Edwards once again. Jamie Mullen. Mullen. Callum Morris on a hat-trick, of course. Disney looking for Harrington on the far post and just headed out by Nathan Peat. And it's a corner kick. Is there a fifth for Connah's Quay as we enter the final 5 minutes here at Maes Tegid?
Yeah, I think it was a good defensive header from Pete there, right in the middle, and yeah, with 2 queuing up there at the back, he's done very well there.
Well, George Horan fancies his chances here. They're blocking the keeper on the line. It's a deep one to the far side, headed away. And the free kick conceded by Connah's Quay. An opportunity for Bala just to clear the lines and just to run up and relieve the pressure. If there was a man of the match award, Anthony, where would that go?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think there's probably a couple of contenders for it. I think that the job that Disney has done on Edwards would be one. I think he's done a really good job there. I think Aaron Edwards, as we've talked about before, just to give them a platform in the game's been very good. I think Jamie Mullen's shown bits of quality. Ryan Harrington's been fairly quiet apart from that goal, but that goal could be worthy of winning any man of the match. But I'd probably say Aaron Edwards for the work that he's done in my book. Having been here and watching it live, you can see a lot more of what he's been doing, and I've been really impressed with him tonight.
Connah's Quay pressing for a 5th. Newtown have scored a 5th, and that 5th goal takes Newtown above Flint into 2nd position in the table before Flint entertain Penybont tomorrow. Opportunity for a 5th here, and it was Paulo Mendes who got the final touch, and it's a goal kick to Bala.
It's good defending again from Pete, though. He covers the run of the midfielder, getting in the box really well and gets across the front. And yeah, he's helped his team out there and defended well during these later stages.
Into the last 3 minutes.
Don't get that close to right.
He's so direct, Jamie Mullen, and drives right at the defender there. And you sort of know he's going to go inside or outside, but you can't stop him. He's very good with that, and very, very clever with his movement, his technique.
Harrison. Aaron Edwards tussling for the ball with Pete, played back by Dave Edwards. Horan. Harrison to Mendes. Byron Harrison brought in Anthony to replace Mike Wilde, but hasn't really made his mark, has he?
No, I remember Byron Harrison playing in the Football League. He was at Stevenage for a while there. I think he come through non-league originally and then played for a few years there. He probably hasn't found his form, you would say, of where I've seen him in the Football League. And then found himself out the team in the last few weeks, which is always difficult as a striker to get into that rhythm and form. But I think sometimes it can be difficult for players to come from the Football League or the National League into the Welsh League, and it can be underestimated. There's some good teams in this league, there's some very good players, and they're tough games every week, as you can tell by tonight. It's hard to make that transition, I think.
Byron Harrison has played for 15 clubs in the English Pyramid. 15 clubs.
Yeah, it's certainly a difficult career. People underestimate that side of it, moving around a lot, moving your family around, especially if you're down the lower end of League 2 and League 1. The money's not as good if you're a Premier League star, is it? So I think it's underestimated how hard that is to make a living down in those places in the football pyramid.
Morris. Back to Ollie Byrne. And we're in the last minute here. Harrison. And it's Sean Smith with the ball back to Ramsey. And he just a bit of pressure from Mullin. Horan. Harrington. Southern with the header to Paulo Mendes. Mendes driving forward. Aaron Edwards wanted the pass, but comes to Jamie Mullen. Mullen just slowing things down. Disney, there'll be 2 minutes added on at the end of the match. Holmes with a cross, hits the post. And it was Byron Harrison who was in there with the touch, as was Aaron Williams. Almost a 5th, confirmation of 2 minutes added.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been difficult for them. They're able to get the 2v1s on the outside. I think it's Pete again who defends that really well. I mean, credit to him and credit to Bala. I think they've been great for the last sort of 15 minutes since that send-off, really, or since that fourth goal's gone in. It would have been definitely easy to roll over, and they certainly haven't done that. So I think sometimes you can learn a lot about your team during these periods, and credit to them. They're still defending and going to the end.
If anything, they've played better since Kieran Smith, since they went down to 9 men.
Yeah,
they've played quite well, haven't they?
I mean, they've been forced to defend a lot and deal with the ball in the box, like those opportunities there. I mean, Quay have passed the ball well. I know it is 9 against 11, but since that's happened, they've really worked it forward and created that overload in the wide areas. So they've done well there and created some more chances.
Confirmation that Aaron Edwards is indeed the man of the match as we enter the final minute.
I did give it a 3 just to cover myself.
Have you enjoyed yourself?
I have. Thank you very much. You've looked after me very well. Yeah, it's certainly
been a pleasure.
Very different from being on the sideline.
Sure?
It's totally different.
Does it give you a different perspective, does it?
Yeah, it does a little bit, actually, yeah. I think I'm much more happy being on the sideline.
Well, it's been a pleasure working with you, Anthony. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time.
No, thank you.
Is there a little bonus for Connah's Quay at the end of the match? We're into the final 30 seconds here at Maes Tegid. Lovely play by Southern. And then Edwards looking for the run of Ollie Southern. Leslie. Edwards. Rutherford. Leslie. The 2 minutes added on has been played as Mr. Jones just has a quick look at his watch, whistle to his mouth, and he brings Bala's suffering to an end. It's a drubbing in the end for Colin Caton's side. 2 goals from Callum Morris. The first from a penalty spot after 4 minutes, his second after 58 minutes. Craig Curran with the second on 23. And then, well, Ryan Harrington with the best of the lot on 49 minutes. Bala ended the match with 10 men, with Chris Venables sent off and Kieran Smith sent off as well. Final score here at Maes Tegid, Bala Town 0, Connah's Quay 4.
Diolch, Malcs, diolch, Del. Wel, am noson i'r pencampwyr Quay Connah yn ennill o 4 gol I ddim fan hyn ar faes Tegid. Owain Tudur Jones am gêm.
Am gêm, oedden ni'n dod yma, oedden ni'n disgwyl gweld 2 dîm yn brwydro yn erbyn I gilydd ac bod naill dîm neu'r llall yn cael ei moments yn y gêm. Da ni'n di gweld hynna o safbwynt y Bala. Mae Quay Connah wedi llwyrioli yr holl gêm. Hyd yn oed efo'r holl brofiad sydd gan Bala yn eu carfan, yn eu tîm nhw, yr 11 nath ddechrau, gathen nhw'n sniff o gwbl. A mae hynna'n deud lot am berfformiad yr ymwelwyr sydd wedi bod o dan bwysau, ond chwarae teg iddyn nhw am berfformiad llwyr heiddi'r trefwynt.
A beth am I ni gael cipolwg ar y canlyniadau, wel, yr un canlyniad arall o heno, y dre newydd yn mynd i'r dyrwyddon Kevin o 5 gol I ddim. Quay Connah, fel I ni'n gwybod, yn ennill o 4 gol I ddim. Oes lot o goliau heno?
Lot o goliau, ond be da ni'n weld dwan, mae'r ail safle yna sy'n mynd I olygu lle yn Ewrop tymor nesa. Mae bob un o heina sydd o dan y dre newydd yn dechrau meddwl, hei, pam ddim ni? Ac oherwydd oedden ni'n disgwyl gweld y 2 yna sydd mewn melyn, Bala Quay Connah, 2 da ni'n ewylio, mond nhw fysa'n mynd amdani, felly mae mor agored a chwarae teg I dîm fel y Flint, fel y dre newydd, nhw sy'n perfformio ar hyn o bryd, a nhw efallai di'r ffefrynnau I orffen yn ail.
A gewn ni cipolwg ar bopeth ddigwyddodd yn yr ail hanner yna. Ryan Harrington yn sgorio'r gol gyntaf o'r ail hanner am gol, Ows.
Wel, sgorio gol gynnar, Cicor Smotin yn hanner cynta, a wedyn sgorio gol gynnar ar ddechrau'r ail hanner, ac oedd I drosodd ar ôl hon. Gath y Bala ddim cyfle I ddod yn ôl I fewn iddi. Am ergyd gan Harrington, am ddiffynnwr fel arfer, diwm yn sgorio lot o goliau, ond am ergyd. Da ni'n gweld y cyffyrddiad Harrington yn ei chanol I unwaith eto. A hon di'r bedwaredd wedyn, tynnu'r bel yn ôl, amddiffynnw'r Balan yn mynd yn rhy onest tuag at gol I hunan. A wedyn, yn amlwg, dwi'n meddwl oedd nhw lawr I 10 dyn ar yr amser yma, sy'n golygu just taro'r targed, ac un o'r nosweithio yna, lle mae popeth yn mynd I fewn, yn anffodus i'r Bala, ac yn amlwg oedd y gêm drosodd cyn hyn. ond fel ni'n sôn, Connah, chwarae teg, perfformiad da iawn.
A'r hyder just yn tifu wrth i'r gêm fynd mlaen, Ows. Gewn ni weld Callum Morris yn sgorio I ail gol wedyn ni o'r gêm. Be nesti o hwn?
Ie, mae Callum Morris yn chwaraewr talentog, mae o'n chwaraewr dylanwadol, da ni'n gallu drystio fo efo cicio'r smotyn, a mae o'n math o ddyn. Pan mae'n ffeindio hun yn y math yna sefyllfa yn y cwrs Cosby, just ar y targed, mae'n gwybod, mae'n mor brofiadol, felly chwarae teg iddo fo, mae o'n wastad yn sgorio goliau.
Y beth am i ni gael bach o ymateb, achos mae Craig Harrison yn cadw cwmni I Nicky John.
Craig, I'm sensing perhaps emotions are running a little bit high after a result in a game like that. Can I ask you for your views first on the match?
Look, we've played really well. You know, we started the game really well. We scored goals in important times. Obviously, the penalty helps in the first 5 minutes, and then the goal in the second half, the first 5 minutes. You know, we've started the game really well, and we've scored an important part of the game. So, you know, we're happy with that.
Can I ask you about both Bala sending us off?
Yeah, he'd speak to the referee about that. You know, that's his job.
OK, well, that's fair enough. But 4-0 for the second week on the bounce now. Do you feel that you're coming into momentum? We speak about the importance of that so often. And do you feel that you're actually starting to be able to stick your stamp on proceedings here now?
I don't think it's about sticking my stamp. I think, you know, we've got a good group of players. We always have had a good group of players. We've had some injuries lately. We're getting everyone fit again. Everyone's flying. We've had some good results. Obviously, it's a tough place to come. And we've had a great result. And we've got to be happy with 3 points. That's what we've come here for. Clean sheet. And we've got it at the end. And we've played well as well.
Diolch, Craig. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Everyone's flying. Cay Connah yn hedfan o'r diwedd. Os ewn ni nôl i'r hanner gynta, fel wedyn ni, y dechreuad perffaith, cic o'r smotyn ar ôl 4 munud agoriadol.
Ie, ac y dyn yma, swn i di licio weld o'n gwenu yn y cyfweliad, mae rhaid I fi ddeud. Maen nhw'n newydd ennill, gen bwysig, 4 gol I ddim. Ond yn amlwg mae'n trio cadw'n cŵl oherwydd dim di bod y tymor gorau. Ond unwaith oedd y gic o'r smotyn ei fewn, a wedyn yn fuan, cael yr ail croesiad, Bala fel arfer, maen nhw'n amddiffyn croesiadau yn dda iawn. Ond ddim yn yr hanner cynta. Goliau sydd wedi costio nhw, ond mae rhaid I Harrison fwynhau. Chydig bach mwy na welson ni yn y cyfweliad.
Un person fi ddim yn mwynhau yw Colin Caton, achos mae gyda Nicky.
Colin, I imagine that's got to be a tough one to swallow.
Obviously it is, yeah, to lose 4-0 against them. But I thought people are saying it was a penalty. Was it a penalty? I'm not sure. I thought it was a good tackle. He got a foot on the ball. And then that goes against you in the first minute. And then a stupid goal to give away. And then, you know, we lose our discipline a little bit. And then it's just football, isn't it?
Yeah, like you say, when you concede a penalty so early on like that, there's always a mountain to climb ahead of you then.
Yeah, the referee was card happy. He's shown it. He booked Chris and sent him off. You know, sometimes you feel that something's against you on the night, and he was certainly against us tonight.
Obviously, a huge blow then on the hour. You're already 4-0 down to lose 2 players then for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, it's difficult. We've had a big injury list, and them 2 getting sent off is not going to help that. So we're going to Tuesday now, but you take your pluses out of it. The lads who are going to miss on Tuesday, the lads who will come in, they've got to stake a claim and fight for a place on a weekly basis now.
Diolch, Colin.
Diolch.
Oes, gewn ni cipolwg ar y ddau gerdyn goch. Dechrau gyda'r un Chris Venables. Oedd hi ddim yn hollol glir beth ddigwyddodd fan hyn, nag oedd e?
Na, I ddechrau oeddwn i'n meddwl y dacl. Ac o'n i'n sbio arni, mae'n mynd chydig bach yn hwyr, o'n i'n meddwl di hwnna mae'n gerdyn coch, cerdyn felyn o bosib, ond dyna mae'n ddangos. Y dyfarn nhw'n dangos y cerdyn felyn, a wedyn y goch yn dod allan yn eitha sydyn, felly o beth da ni'n glywed, rhywbeth mae Chris Venables wedi ddeud, ac yn amlwg mae rhaid i ni barchu bod ddim angen rhegi i ddyfarnwyr. A wedyn yr ail, da chi ar ei hôl i'n barod, da chi lawr i 10 dyn, a mae Smith yn fanna, mae'n chwaraewr sy'n mor ona. Swn i'n gofyn y cwestiwn, pan bod Kieran Smith yn y sefyllfa fel y dyn ola, mae'n wbeth i mynd o le o safbwynt yr amddiffyn i'r Bala. Felly, un o'r nosweithio yna, symud o un ochr, a wedyn ymlaen i'r gêm nesaf, gobeithio gweld y mateb.
Jyst I fynd nôl i Venables, yn edrych ymlaen i gemau nesa'r Bala, maen nhw'n marau Dre newydd, maen nhw'n marau Flint, maen nhw'n marau Seintiau newydd. Maen nhw'n mynd I fod hebddo fe am rai o'r gêm yna. Mae e'n mynd I fod yn golled.
Colled enfawr, oherwydd mae o yn un o'r chwaraewyr gorau yn y gyngrair. Mae o yn un o'r ymosodwyr gorau sydd yn sgorio goliau bob tymor yn erbyn pawb. Felly I golli fo, mi fydden nhw'n teimlo'n siomedig, ac I golli fo yn y fodd yna, diffyg disgyblaeth, nath y rheolwr ddeud yn fanna, diffyg disgyblaeth sydd wedi costio yn yr ail hanner, pan mewn gêm lle maen nhw dan bwysau ac yn amlwg methu delio efo'r sefyllfa nath nhw ffeindio hynna'n ynddo fo.
A colli Kieran Smith sydd wedi dechrau pob gêm i'r Bala tymor me.
Ia, wedyn siarad efo Will Evans wrth ochr y cae. Ma nhw'n methu gymaint ar hyn o bryd sydd yn anffodus. Mae rhaid iddyn nhw ffeindio rhyw ffordd o wneud yn siŵr bod nhw'n ymateb ar ôl hunllaf heno.
Hunllef yn gwmpas, so mae Calan Gia di bod, mae'n noson dan gwell heno. Wel, Ows, diolch yn fawr am dy gwmni di heno ac am noson i'r pencampwyr Quay Connah yn ennill o 4 gol i ddim fan hyn ar faes Tegid. Maen nhw wedi crypad nôl mewn i'r 6 uchaf o'r diwedd. Mae'r benod newydd yma o dan Craig Harrison yn dechrau edrych yn addawol. Diolch yn fawr i chi am wylio. Welwn i chi tro nesaf.
Mae e wedi rhoi honno yn ei lle'n berffeth.
Job dda. Screwfix yn noddi pêl-droed ar S4C.